That is kind of one of her natural tendencies, and to have a striker drift in from the left and shoot, you know, with a right foot opens up the goal. It makes it really, really difficult for the goalkeeper to take those angles. So I think wherever she is, she's going to provide a massive impact, but will it be different if she starts? You know, we'll see.
So both sets of players taking the knee ahead of kick-off here. It will be Denmark to get us underway under the dark skies in Sydney, kicking from right to left. A reminder that if England win here against Denmark, and if Haiti don't lose to China in Group D's other game later, then England will be through to the last 16 of the Women's World Cup with a game to spare. We'll take you through the full lineups in a moment, but Lucy Bronze under early pressure down England's right-hand side by Madsen, the only Danish change for this match, replacing the Everton midfielder Nicolina Sorensen. England's managed to clear over the halfway line, and Alessia Russo won't keep it in, and it will be a Danish throw midway inside their own half. So England with Earps in goal, the back four of Bronze, Bright, Greenwood and Daly. Ahead of them it's Stanway, Walsh and Toon, with Kelly and James supporting Alessia Russo up front. Denmark with the throw over the halfway line they go, playing in all red, as England pick it up once more with Lucy Bronze in the orange boots, easing away from Madsen, not once but twice, closed down by Pernille Harder, the former Chelsea player. All these Lionesses know her so well from those 3 years in the WSL. But she ended this summer moving to Bayern Munich, and Alex Greenwood has it at centre half, sprays the ball out to the right hand side for England, and Lucy Bronze over the halfway line to Chloe Kelly, cuts in field, moving away from Katrina Weyer. Infield she goes to Ella Toon, feeds Stanway on the edge of the area, cleared away by Denmark. Toon will send it forward. Here is James in the number 10 position just outside the D, plays it out to the left hand side, and Rachel Daly, now Toon. Bright start this from England, out to the left they go once more, and here is Lauren James trying to trick her way into the penalty area. Lovely turn on the edge of the box, plays the ball across, flashes all the way across goal. Lucy Bronze reaches it, but not before it's gone out of play. Denmark goal kick, but already Karen Barsley, we're seeing real attacking intent for England early doors.
You're right, Vicky, it's an absolutely great start, really, really bright from the Lionesses. You can see Rachel Daly taking more advanced positions, really joining into the midfield, pushing on Lauren James to either go outside initially and then to cut back on the right, just around the edge of the area in those central channels in that half space. And then look how well she does to create that space to essentially like just lift the lovely little cross into the area. Unfortunately goes out of play.
So Denmark in possession, just inside their own half. They have Lena Christensen in goal, the back four of Rega Saveka, free agent after leaving Everton this summer. Stina Badasea, Simona Boyer, former Arsenal player, and Katrina Weyer, also formerly of Arsenal, currently with Everton. Ahead of them it's Josefina Hasbo, Karen Holmgaard of Everton, and Katrina Kuhl of Arsenal, with Yanni Thompson, Rega Maria Madsen and Pernille Harder up front, as England are in possession midway through their own half. 3 minutes played, it's goalless.
Yeah, and some really, really nice movement, you know, just down this near side here, looking for Lucy Bronze to get an advance. You see Kira Walsh coming across to connect and link up, and she's there as an option, but Denmark are making it really, really difficult. You can see the purpose of their press is essentially try to isolate her and keep her from getting on the ball.
So Denmark with the throw. Katrina Weyer loses out though to Chloe Kelly, who lifts the ball forward, cleared away at the back by Simona Boyer, and it will be a throw to England. Denmark, incidentally, who also, like England, have the chance to qualify for the last 16 with a game to spare. If they win and China avoid defeat against Haiti later, then Denmark are through to the knockout stages, as Lucy Bronze picks it up outside the penalty area. The red shirts of Denmark force back the white shirts of England. And Millie Bright will pick it up once more. Fitz again to start after playing 90 minutes in the opener against Haiti, her first competitive action since March after recovering from that knee injury. Here is Lauren James on the halfway line, steers it back to Alex Greenwood, and now in field to Kira Walsh, sprays the ball over the top looking for the run of Chloe Kelly. There's Weyer there with her. Kelly trying to get the better of Weyer, who stands up very well, the Danish fullback, and should be able to clear up towards halfway. Millie Bright is there, powerful header away. England lose out though, and Denmark will pick it up on the halfway line. First touch for Pernille Harder, their captain and record goal scorer, but Lucy Bronze gets the foot in, steers the ball out of play for a Denmark throw.
That's really well done from Denmark's Weyer, their left-sided fullback, in terms of getting the ball across, getting her body across Chloe Kelly, really trying to slow down the play. You know that in this wide channel, Chloe Kelly loves a 1v1. She loves trying to take a defender on and deliver those crosses.
So here is Via, long throw, headed away by Millie Bright and helped on by Lucy Bronze once more. Cleared forward by Denmark over the head of Bronze, and Bright will bring the ball down, closed down by Arsenal's Katrina Kuhl. And under pressure, Bright clears out of play for a throw to Denmark, midway inside the England half, goalless.
Denmark are really alert to those back passes. You can see when Millie Bright was facing her own goal, Mary Earps was asking for it, but you can see that Pernilla Harder and Madsen, the Danish number 17, was starting to creep towards and trying to anticipate that pass back to goal.
So Via with the throw to the edge of the area, played across first time by Madsen, but only straight to the orange booted feet of Lauren James, who turns in a circle on the halfway line and will play it back to Alex Greenwood. We spoke a lot in the build-up, Karen, about what Rachel Daly will bring at left back. What does moving Alex Greenwood to centre half do for this England side?
Yeah, I mean, Alex Greenwood's passing range is exquisite.
England picked the ball up on the edge of the penalty area. Stanway trying to squeeze it through to Toon in the centre. Denmark get the foot in, but Daly has it. Plays it forward to Lauren James. Let's fly from the edge of the area. Oh, what a goal! What a goal from Lauren James! That is absolutely outstanding! A rocket to put England ahead against Denmark, and Serena Wiegmann's changes have paid off. Denmark trail early on against the Lionesses, and it is just beautiful from James.
Oh my goodness, it's a fantastic strike from Lauren James. She picks up the ball off Rachel Daly into a lovely half space, penetrates to the edge of the area, and opens up the goal with that right foot and curls it right into the corner beyond the outstretched arms of the Danish goalkeeper Christensen. What a fantastic strike. I mean, that is her bread and butter, Vicky.
It's a wonderful strike from James, and Christensen on the stretch can't get her fingertips to it. Her first major tournament for England, her first start after coming on as a substitute last match against Haiti. And Karen, in the build-up to this on 5 Live, we spoke about what players could bring a bit of sparkle, a bit of stardust to this tournament. Lauren James, she was mentioned, and that is exactly why. Denmark's ball into the area. Mary Earps just claims on her goal line. It's a cross that's one of those that can sometimes catch a goalkeeper out, but not often a goalkeeper like Mary Earps. Although we have seen it on occasion domestically for Manchester United this season. I remember the game against Brighton at Lee Sports Village. However, she watched that one perfectly.
Yeah, that was a Beth Mead special, wasn't it? She loved it. Was it a shot? Cross?
The crotch, yes. I think that's Beth Mead's trademark.
Yeah, but what a fantastic start for England here.
Leading by a goal to nil. A Lauren James stunner. Millie Bright's in possession on the halfway line as the ball goes back to Alex Greenwood, and the perfect start for Serena Wiegmann and the Lionesses.
Yeah, absolutely. I think going back to your initial question before it all went a bit nuts, Alex Greenwood adds an element of penetration, I think, from the back in terms of build-up. She'll move forward, connect to the midfield, whether it's on the dribble or whether it's the short pass or a long pass into the box.
Little 1-2, James picks it up 30 yards out, square to Lucy Bronze. Central position, plays it back to James once more, who looks so sharp as Daly whips the ball in from that left back position, and it bounces behind for an England corner. Well remembered about that, Alex Greenwood, by the way. That had completely been driven out of my head by the beauty of that Lauren James strike.
Yeah, I can't imagine why, but yeah. I mean, she's a fantastically versatile player. I mean, like I said, she has excellent execution of her pass. Like, I used to watch her at training, and she used to just love zipping them along the grass. We used to call them worm burners, you know. And the way you would receive it, it would just send you on your way.
Well, she's over there on the far side. Greenwood ready to take this corner kick. England leading by a goal to nil against Denmark as Kelly comes short and receives it. 2 red shirts go with her. Little 1-2 for Kelly, back to Alex Greenwood, who plays it forward, not quite on the same wavelength, but Kelly does get down to the byline and win another corner. Let's bring Gilly Flaherty in on that Lauren James goal. Gilly.
Oh, what an incredible goal. And that's why I say, I know obviously she's set up potentially on the right wing, but that is exactly why I say Lauren James needs to play in the 10. When she's got that freedom role, sitting in the pocket, and she's able to pick the ball up like she does, incredible finish.
Corner is in from England. Lucy Bronze heads it on and it's flicked up towards the goal. Overhead attempt down there by Chloe Kelly. Well, she's certainly capable of scoring a special goal, but that one flies over the top of the bar. But England could not have started this match better, Karen Bardsley.
No, that was a bit ambitious, I think, from Chloe Kelly. I mean, everyone loves a overhead kick, don't they? But no, it's been a great start to this game for England. They're moving the ball really, really quickly. They look so much more confident in the positions that they're taking up, especially, you know, just picking up the half spaces off the back of the Danish back four for Alessia Russo. The energy that Lauren James has injected into this game from the off has been great to see.
Here is Alex Greenwood just outside the England penalty area, sends it back to Mary Earps, all in bright yellow. 10 minutes gone, and thanks to a Lauren James stunner, the Lionesses lead in Sydney. Lovely backheel pass by Chloe Kelly, won't quite reach Lucy Bronze. Katrina Vaya does well, and then doesn't do so well, loses it. Bronze, back to Kelly, right-hand side. England with all the momentum at the moment as Kelly fizzes the ball into the area. Cleared away up towards halfway by Balasea, and will be picked up by Denmark over on this left-hand side. Denmark, who were runners-up at the Euros in 2017, losing to Serena Wiegman's Netherlands. They're ranked 13th in the world to England's 4th. And arguably, the toughest test that England may well face in this group, but it's been all England so far. A reminder, if they win here and Haiti avoid defeat to China later, England will be through to the last 16 of the Women's World Cup with a game to spare. The ball is cleared away by Madsen. Greenwood takes charge, wins it on the halfway line. They just look so up for it, don't they, Karen?
Absolutely, and that right there is the difference, where Alex Greenwood has stepped into the midfield, up the back of a Danish attacker trying to receive the ball with her back to goal, and she's prevented the play turning and going forward. She's forced it back and forced Denmark.
Alatoon might latch onto this inside the penalty area. Good ball by Rachel Daly. Balasea, the Danish centre-half, is there with her. Pull back to the edge of the area, and Lauren James will pick it up on the left-hand side, cuts in field, whips the ball in, Russo's in there, cleared away by Simona Boyer, will come back out to Lauren James once more. Denmark can't get out of their penalty area at the moment, as Rachel Daly plays it forward once more to England's goal scorer, Lauren James. Forward now to Alatoon, left-hand side of the penalty area. Back to James once more, they're running the show. She's running the show, Lauren James, as Rachel Daly picks it up and plays it in field to Lucy Bronze, who's drifted into a central midfield position from that right back berth. Out to Lauren James once more. England stretching the play as James down to the byline, dinks the ball across, gets blocks on the way through, and it will be another England corner. They're utterly dominant at the moment. It's good defending though by Rega Saveka.
It's really, really fluid from England. You can see Ella Toon drifting out to go and support Lauren James when she's on that far side, trying to create 2v1s where she can, but then centrally in the area, Alessia Russo is trying to occupy the centre backs to create more space for her teammates back stick as well.
Both hands in the air from Alex Greenwood. Swings it in left-footed to the edge of the 6-yard box. The header is back across goal from Millie Bright. Denmark gets a head on it as well and send it out of the penalty area, and Kira Walsh will pick it up just inside the centre circle. Reminder, you can watch this game live on BBC One. You can join Robin Cowan and Rachel Brown-Finnis for commentary there. Or if you'd like to, you can stay with us with our commentary. Press the red button. You can do the same on the iPlayer and you'll get the pictures and the 5 Live commentary. 2 excellent options, we feel, for you, for your watching and listening selection here on the BBC. Forwards by Alex Greenwood, out to the left-hand side, and Lauren James once again cutting in field. She's so dangerous when she does that. Pulls the ball back to Kira Walsh, and now Rachel Daly once more. Denmark can't get a foot on the ball. This is a great start by England, and as they go back to halfway, do you think they were stung? Would they have been stung by the criticism that their performance against Haiti received?
Here's the thing, I think they knew it wasn't good enough themselves. They didn't have to wait for anyone to tell them. You know, I think you could hear from the things that were coming out post-match. So we're just building up outside the area, and I'm conscious that I don't want to talk over you because I feel like it could transition at any point here.
Anything could happen, seriously. England are coming forward, looking so dangerous every single time. So I'll take over. Thanks, Karen. Ball into the area. Won't reach Lucy Bronze, but she will pick it up as it spins out of the box on this right-hand side. And it's cleared out of play for a throw to England. To the edge of the area they go. Chloe Kelly loses out. Bronze is there, though. They're picking up all the second balls as Ella Toon plays it to Stanway. Now Bronze, right-hand side, swings the ball in. It's over the head of Russo, flicked away by Saveka before James can get there, and cleared long downfield by Yanni Thompson for Denmark. But they're so deep. Pernille Harder is so isolated up front for Denmark as the ball goes out of play for an England throw deep in Danish territory. England who lead by a goal to nil here on BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
Yeah, they're really struggling, the Danish, to kind of clear their lines. I mean, the pressure from England is just incessant, you know, and I think that's the beauty of having an attacking-minded player in defence like Rachel Daly. She's so happy to get forward and to join in and sustain the attacks, and that's something that we didn't really see a lot of against Haiti.
Pernille Harder fouled midway inside her own half, and Denmark will have a free kick. Denmark, who do not even have a toehold in this game in terms of the balance of play at the moment. England leading by the goal to nil here in Sydney. As Denmark play the ball over the halfway line. But we know that Pernille Harder is always dangerous. We know that Denmark, yes, they didn't get out of the group at the Euros last summer, which England won, lifting their first major trophy, of course, on that glorious night at Wembley. They were in a very tough group, Denmark. They had Germany, finished runners-up to England, Spain, who England's just got past in extra time in the quarterfinals. It's Lucy Bronze, one of those Euro heroines, picks it up on this right-hand side. She's challenged by Rega Maria Madsen. Ball goes out of play for an England throw.
It's interesting, I think, what I'm seeing down this near side with Lucy Bronze. I think she got caught in possession a lot against Haiti. And I think at times you see her hanging on to the ball a little bit. You know, does she have her mind made up before she receives it? But the thing about Lucy is, like, she's got the athleticism to go and penetrate on some mazy runs and create something out of nothing. But there have been a few times in the previous games where I've seen her caught out in possession. But, you know, the addition to Alex Greenwood coming centrally provides a lot more defensive stability for England, and it's nice to see it allows the fullbacks to join in more freely.
World Cup bronze medal winner Karen Bardsley here with us on 5 live from Sydney, where the Lionesses lead Denmark by a goal to nil in this second Women's World Cup match. Victory here, and Haiti avoiding defeat against China later, which we will have updates from on 5 Live. Would see England through to the last 16 of the Women's World Cup with a game to spare. Here is Millie Brights in possession, plays it to Alex Greenwood, and it's interesting, in possession it's almost turning into a 3 at the back, isn't it? Rachel Daly is getting so far forward, and then you've got Chloe Kelly on this right hand side. There's a bit of fluidity here about the Lionesses formation.
There really is. It's so versatile, this 4-4-3, 4-3-3 as well. Can turn into, you know, add additional in through the midfield, and you've got overloads all over the pitch. You know, defensive stability as well. So yeah, it's so fluid from this Lioness side.
Yeah, Lucy Bronze is centre forward at the moment from the right back position. She's been central midfield, centre forward, but they are really getting forward at every opportunity, not sitting back on this 1-0 lead at all, as Simona Boyer defends well against Alessia Russo, just eases the England striker off the ball, and it's behind for a Denmark goal kick.
I mean, Vicky, there's so much fluidity, as you rightly say, you know, in terms of interchanging positions. You know, Lucy Bronze going infield, allowing Chloe Kelly to come out. So you can see that England are trying to pin Denmark's fullbacks to really stretch the width across the back line, which opens up space for Alessia Russo or Ella Toon to drive in through centrally. So there's a plethora of choices at the minute.
So Lena Christensen, Danish #1, who's already been beaten once this evening in Sydney, clears long over the halfway line. England leading by a goal to nil. Millie Bright will send it all the way back to Mary Earps, who has had very little to do. 81% possession for England so far, and that is pretty remarkable as the ball goes out of does go out of play. I preempted Lucy Bronze not being able to keep that in, but in the end she's not able to, and it will be a Danish throw midway through the England half, and Denmark haven't got anywhere near the England penalty area yet.
No, they haven't, but you know, here's me waxing lyrical about Alex Greenwood's pass, and just puts it a little bit behind Lucy Bronze. Katrina
Vaya into the feet of Pernille Harder, but the touch took it away from her, and won't find Yanni Thompson, who was lurking just on the edge of the D. And Rachel Daly will play the ball back to Alex Greenwood, who squares it to Millie Bright, the captain. No Leah Williamson, of course, who lifted that European Championship trophy under the Wembley arch last summer. She's missing with an ACL injury, as is Beth Mead, the Golden Boot winner and player of the tournament. No Fran Kirby either. The likes of Jill Scott and Ellen White, the Lionesses' record goal scorer, have retired. But still, the bulk of this side, the bulk of this squad were the Lionesses that claimed European glory in England last summer, as Alessia Russo plays it forward to Ella Toon, who flicks it on to Lauren James, there to the penalty area. James might go for goal again, does so this time. It's straight into the arms of Lena Christensen.
It's exciting, it really, really is. Every time Lauren James gets on the ball, you think, oh, she's probably going to cut inside. It's well flicked on here by Ella Toon, out to Lauren James, picks it up to the edge of the area, dribbles inside, and again cuts centrally to try and open up the goal.
England pick up the ball on the halfway line with Kira Walsh, and here goes Ella Toon once more, driving through the Danish half, feeds Georgia Stanway, space for Chloe Kelly on this right-hand side. Once again, England stretching the play as Kelly holds up possession just outside the area. First time delivery from Lucy Bronze, and James was there and met it, and again it's straight at Lena Christensen. But there were the white shirts there to cause the red shirts of Denmark real problems, and if James had connected with that cleanly, it would have been her second and England's second.
And it's savvy from Lucy Bronze. She recognizes there's a run into the area, hits a nice early first time delivery, and it's unfortunate. Lauren James was on the correct side, just got ahead of her Danish defender, but yeah, couldn't quite make the right connection.
So England in possession, just outside their own penalty area. Sydney Football Stadium has filled up nicely. They were expecting around 40,000, holds about 45,000 for the Women's World Cup, and I don't think we're far off that, as England have the ball just inside the Danish half. Nice little 1-2, cleared away up towards halfway. Lucy Bronze gets her head to it, and Chloe Kelly will dink it forward. Stanway in space, turns, pulls it across to Toon, turns, edge of the D, takes the shot. Christensen's right behind it. We are here at the Sydney Football Stadium, next to the famous Sydney Cricket Ground. And that reminds me that Test Match Special is on air from 10 a.m. on 5 Sports Extra. They will start by looking back at the first day's play before looking ahead to day 2 of the 5th and final test at the Oval, and there will be ball-by-ball coverage throughout the day on 5 Sports Extra. England at the Women's World Cup here in Sydney lead by a 1-0 against Denmark midway through the first half here on 5 Live. A reminder, you can watch this match on BBC One. If you'd like to, you can sync up with our commentary as well. Just press the red button or do that via BBC iPlayer, as Daly plays it out to the left-hand side and Lauren James sends it back to Daly. England looking supremely confident, Karen Bardsley.
They really are. They look very, very comfortable. They seem to have a great relationship at this moment in time. It's been really fun to watch the build-up, because obviously England are going to want to build through Kira Walsh in this defensive holding midfield position. And it's allowing Georgia Stanway to get higher up the pitch, but you can see that Denmark know this, and they're looking to double team Kira Walsh.
Ball forward by Chloe Kelly. Stanway will chase. Good defending by Simona Boyer. Gets across well, the former Arsenal centre-half, and clears away. But at the moment, it's all Denmark can do to clear their lines. And Pernille Harder, their captain, their record goal scorer, on halfway, just clapping her hands together, trying to encourage her teammates. But they're really under the cosh here from England. And that's the thing, from Serena Wiegmann's perspective, from Lionesses fans listening to us perspective, they're very much on top, England. Oh, they'd love to get the second goal. Important that they do so.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been loads of chances, Vicky. You're absolutely right, in terms of the domination that we're seeing from this England side, but we know just, in tournament football, it can change at the drop of a hat.
And possession has changed. Picked up by Katrina Vaya. Up to the right-hand side she goes as Denmark advance, defending for Rachel Daly to do. Plays the ball into the area. Lovely turn. Oh, just wide. That was better from Denmark. Rega Maria Madsen with the shot, flashing across goal. And Mary Earps with a bit of a sigh of relief, because there you go, Karen. As we say, anything can happen in tournament football, and Denmark are a decent side. It's a lovely turn from Madsen. Earps narrowed the angle well, and the shots on the angle flashes wide from the Danish attacker.
And this is what we discuss about being tidy in possession. We can see Rachel Daly was again looking for Kira Walsh. It was just a bit of a loose pass into midfield, and it's so dangerous with how compact Denmark are in these central areas. And yeah, I think we really dodged a bullet there, because that was a fantastic spin and a strike from Madsen, the Danish attacker.
Alessia Russo in possession on halfway, goes down under pressure from the aforementioned Madsen, who concedes the free kick. She plays her domestic football for North Carolina Courage, currently top of the NWSL. Keep an eye out if she does score. We'll describe it for you. Of course, you're on 5 Live, but she celebrates with backflips, does the Sam Kerr. Madsen, that's her chosen goal celebration. Just a want she's netted for Denmark, though. That all the way back in November 2019. As the ball goes out to the left-hand side, and Rachel Daly. England leading by a goal to nil. Daly's ball in, headed away by Simona Boyer. Denmark get another contact on the edge of the penalty area. But it's a nervy clearance that goes out of play eventually from Denmark for a throw to England deep in Danish territory. England 1, Denmark 0 at the Women's World Cup here on 5 Live.
And again, that ball into the area from Rachel Daly is exactly why she's such a pivotal component in this squad. You know, yeah, okay, she can, you know, hit an absolute worldie from the edge of the area, but the balls that she delivers into the box are stunning.
England have given the ball away, and Alex Greenwood can't get there. And they could be in here with Yanni Thompson. Denmark held up on the edge of the area, still going, drives over the bar, but the danger is growing from the Danes. Mary Earp's happy to watch that one over, but that's Denmark's best 2 chances of this match, and they've come in the last couple of minutes.
That's right, again, caught out in transition, just losing possession, and we just really, England really need to get a foothold back into how determined they were and how tactically sound and structurally sound they were behind the ball in possession. I think just let's not get carried away, you know, and yes, things are going well. Yes, we're 1-0 up, but it's the small things, the good little habits to continue to do. That's kind of what makes up a good performance, isn't it, Vicky?
Absolutely. England in possession, play the ball all the way back to Mary Earps. I feel like I should apologise, Karen, because I feel that as soon as I said they're on top, they need to get the second goal. It's been all Denmark, but what can Lauren James do here? Down the left-hand side, England's goal scorer, a stunner from just outside the area. Her first goal at her first major tournament for her country. She holds up play on the left-hand side. It's all the way back with Rachel Daly. Plays it in field to Kira Walsh. Well closed down by Katrina Kuhl of Arsenal. England spin the ball out once more to Lauren James. Leading by a goal to nil here on BBC Radio 5 Live. And James does well to retain possession. Georgia Stanway will send it back to Greenwood on the halfway line. Forward once more to Stanway, who sprays the pass out to the left-hand side, and Daly. Forward again, with Toon as the option. Lauren James will pick it up, edge of the area, swings the ball across the box, comes to Lucy Bronze, right-hand side of the penalty area. Good interception though by Denmark, who steal it on the edge of the D, and Pernilla Harder's on the shoulder. Can they find her? Yes, they can. Good play by the Everton midfielder Karen Holmgaard, who's continued to run into the box as Harder advances into the area as well, drives the shot in. Mary Earps is right behind it. England lead by a goal to nil.
And it's a very, very tidy collection from Mary Earps, but again, it's a picked off pass from Lucy Bronze in Denmark's own half, and it's a great, great progressive run, and is well played out into these wide areas for Pernilla Harder to cut inside. Millie Bright does very, very well to kind of delay enough to allow some support for England, and makes it ultimately a comfortable save at the end for Mary Earps.
Up against her former Chelsea teammate, of course, Millie Bright. Pernilla Harder, a player she's faced so many times in training. As Alex Greenwood plays it forward to Ella Toon. And to change his passes. Keep an eye on the performance of Toon. She's not had the best season with Manchester United, and he's a player that I'm sure will want to really put in a good showing to stake her claim to stay in that starting lineup, with the option of Hemp and Kelly and James, as we saw in the second half against Portugal, also available to Serena Wiegman. And here is Chloe Kelly, goes down in the centre circle, wins the free kick. England 1, Denmark 0.
I think what we're seeing a little bit is the tempo of how quickly the ball is changed from side to side. Kind of slow a little bit more. It's taken a little bit longer in terms of, you know, staying on the ball, maybe taking an extra touch here and there. You can see what England are trying to do in terms of shift this Danish side. They're taking up more central positions now, not shifting as quickly, and I think they're wise to the fact that England are trying to stretch out their back line, and the spaces aren't appearing as much for Alessia Russo and Ella Toon.
England in possession in the centre circle. 5 Live, your home of the Women's World Cup, will be with you throughout the tournament. Live coverage from Australia of every England match. So join us next for that on Tuesday morning, where England take on China in Adelaide. Grab yourself a cuppa, grab yourself your favourite breakfast and sit back and relax as the Lionesses look to progress through the tournament here in Australia. And New Zealand as well, they're co-hosting, but the Lionesses will play all of their matches in Australia. They've won a corner, they lead by a goal to nil. Chloe Kelly, the heroine at Wembley, of course, scoring that extra time winner against Germany in the European Championship final last summer, is over this. Both arms in the air, that pink headband on her blonde head. She seeks the options in the penalty area, swings it in high, again it's long. Lucy Bronze with the header, bounces on the roof of the net, but they're always looking for Bronze, aren't they? Whether it's from the left with Greenwood or the right with Kelly, Lucy Bronze is peeling off the back line at the back post, back across goal. That time she went for goal, just over the bar.
I mean, Lucy Bronze is one heck of a competitor. She loves winning, so that's going to include those 1v1 battles as well. So the likelihood of her creating some really high opportunities are definitely up there. We've seen her do it before. I remember back in 2015, 2017, 2019. She's a great player in the air.
Denmark win the set piece just inside their own half. Karen Holmgaard, the Everton midfielder, drawing the foul. England leading by the goal to nil. A reminder that a victory here, coupled with Haiti avoiding defeat against China in Group D's other match later, will be enough to see the Lionesses through to the knockout stages at the Women's World Cup with a game to spare. But Denmark have come back into this game. They were really under the cosh for the first 20 minutes. Lauren James with the only goal so far. Denmark looking to do something from this set piece. Players lined up about 25 yards out of the area, and the delivery goes all the way through, watched behind by Alex Greenwood. Mary Epps will have a goal kick to take for England.
That's well left by the England back line and the England goalkeeper. It's a lovely high starting position from England. I felt very confident that nothing was going to come from that, just from the initial approach to how they were going to defend. It was deep for the Danish, and it didn't look like it was going to be particularly threatening unless it was some kind of mistake or a second phase kind of opportunity.
England in possession on the halfway line. James back to Rachel Daly. I suppose it's about seeing the combinations as well. Now we have Daly at left back. Now that Lauren James is starting over on that left-hand side, those are the two changes for England from their win over Haiti. What sort of connections can they develop? And same with Chloe Kelly and Lucy Bronze down this right-hand side that we saw in the first game as James slides the ball into the area, won't be reached by Ella Toon, cleared away by Denmark, out for an England throw. England who lead by a goal to nil.
And you're absolutely right, Vicky. You mentioned, the relationships that they're starting to build. You can see, again, Rachel Daly getting in advanced positions. When Ella Toon, vacates the space centrally and goes out wide, Lauren James comes centrally, and there's so many options on the ball.
Hasbo loses out midway through the Danish half, and Lauren James, England's goal scorer, has it once more. All the way back to the halfway line they go, England. Alex Greenwood quickly closed down by Harder, but lovely turn from Kira Walsh under pressure from Katrina Kuhl of Arsenal. But Walsh dealt with that so well. Now here is Millie Bright, England's captain for this tournament. Sprays the ball out to the left-hand side, and her Chelsea teammate Lauren James, beautiful control. Just sticks to her feet like glue, the ball, Lauren James, when she's on form. Pulls it back to Rachel Daly, plays the ball into the area. Bronze is up there once again, tangling with Via. Ball goes behind for a Danish goal kick, but notable, Lucy Bronze is getting so far forward at every opportunity.
Absolutely, and getting great service from that opposite flank from Rachel Daly, and that's the joy of having someone that's able to kind of spray in balls like that. The versatility of range of pass and delivery from Rachel Daly is fantastic. When you're Denmark, you don't really know in terms of what sort of balls you're going to be facing, so is your positioning going to change? It kind of puts you on edge, so you're not really sure where your starting position should be.
Poor goal kick from Lina Christensen, straight out of play for a throw to England just inside the Danish half. Another bumper weekend of sport coming up for you on 5 Live. As ever, we've got the Belgian Grand Prix, the Netball World Cup, the World Swimming Championships, racing from Ascot as well, and of course coverage of the Ashes as it continues, both on 5 Live and ball-by-ball coverage on 5 Sports Extra. Denmark intercept the ball just outside their own penalty area. Here is Katrina Via, driving run over the halfway line, looking to get back on level terms before the break. Sliding interception by Kira Walsh, who has gone down with a problem here. Katrina Kuhl of Arsenal is continuing to play. Denmark aren't happy here because our referee, Tess Olofsson of Sweden, has stopped play, but Kira Walsh has clearly got an issue here, and she's making that sign saying, this is it. I'm going to have to come off here. What a frustration. Oh, please. She's holding her knee, and it looks as though she feels, in her opinion, she won't be able to continue. And she looks very distressed here, Kira Walsh, and what a blow this would be. She's clearly in pain. The medical staff are on. Let us hope that this is not another serious injury. But you know your own body. She feels she can't continue. Let's see what the medical staff say.
I mean, listen, Vicky, in years past, when you sustain something kind of awkward and you've not experienced it before, I think sometimes it can really frighten you into thinking that you're injured. I have to be honest, though, in the run of play, those innocuous injuries tend to be kind of bad. You know, so she grabs her knee straight away, but hopefully she'll be okay. But I mean, let's think about the impact, the wider impact that, you know, we've seen from Lauren James. You know, she's come on, made a huge change in terms of where she's picking up the ball in space. You know, her movement is really fantastic in terms of losing the defender, and then she turns and goes forward and looks to distribute. So I'm so happy to see, you know, that she's been able to get that start, but the instant impact she's made as well.
And it's her goal that's the difference here in Sydney. But continued concern over Kira Walsh. The stretcher is on. Let's bring in Gilly Flaherty, who's watching this back in the UK. Gilly.
I think it's gutting. I mean, I'm looking now at the pictures of Kira Walsh. She's visibly upset. You dread to think, is it the three-letter word that we don't like saying? But I think if you're looking at it, when you watch the replay back, she's obviously sliding. It seems like the front of her studs get caught in the ground, and straight away, obviously, she knows that it's something that she's not experienced before. Or it's obviously a severe pain. So obviously, you see on the stretcher and that it's gutting, and you're just praying and keeping everything crossed that it's not what we think it might be.
She's on the stretcher, as Gilly says, Kira Walsh. She's going to be carried from the field of play. No Leah Williamson here at the World Cup because of an ACL. No Beth Mead here at the World Cup because of an ACL, and that's just for England. There are so many, and Miedema for the Netherlands, there are so many missing. We don't know what it is. We don't have that confirmation, and as Gilly says, we just hope that it is not another ACL for one of the Lionesses. Kira Walsh is being stretchered from the pitch here in Sydney. She has her shirt over her face, her hands now on her head. And Serena Wiegman, her manager, comes out to the stretcher and has a word with her player, as does Laura Coombs, who will be the player to replace Kira Walsh. And we'll talk more in a moment about what this means for her, because this is a hugely special moment for Laura Coombs. But Karen, just some reflections there on that injury to Kira Walsh and how devastating that is for the player and for England as a whole, for a team, because she is so crucial to what England do.
I think literally, Vicky, as soon as I was just about to say what a game she's having in terms of being able to create space for herself to get on the ball. She's dropping a shoulder and being able to shift the two players that Denmark have on her. You know, like, that's not easy to do, and she's phenomenal at doing that. And when she went to Barcelona, I think that added a new level to her game as well. So listen, these are going to be big shoes to fill, but England have experienced some games without her, and we saw Katie Zellem in the past drop into that holding midfield role. Obviously we see Laura Coombs in there now, who is a very stick to like simple principles type of player. She'll get the ball and distribute, but there's a versatility now between Georgia Stanway and Laura Coombs. They can switch positions, they'll be fluid. You know, we can even see Alex Greenwood step in alongside into the midfield to add that element of stability. So we'll be fine.
England with a throw over on the far side. 7 minutes plus added time to play. They lead by 1-0. Our very best wishes go with Kira Walsh. We, of course, will bring you any updates as soon as we have them here on 5 Live. Millie Bright in possession, plays it out to the right-hand side. Lucy Bronze won't keep it in. So Laura Coombs, 32 years of age, at her first major tournament, makes her major tournament debut for England. She made her first Lionesses appearance in 7.5 years back in February against South Korea. She's had a great season with Manchester City. She's earned that national recall. She's here at her first major competition with her country, and now she comes on to play what will be a huge role in the rest of this game, and we'll see about the rest of the tournament as well, depending on the news that we get on Keira Walsh. But England leading by a 0 against Denmark, and it's one of these, Karen, as players with 6 minutes or so to go until half-time, mentally you've got to stay focused, because nobody wants to see a teammate stretch it off like that.
No, exactly. I think, frankly, everyone in the stadium knows kind of the potential impact that seeing Keira Walsh getting stretchered off could have on England's performance. But I think, listen, this team is so close. Like, as unfortunate as it is, they'll want to make sure that they get something out of this game for Keira and for the players back home and everyone that England are representing tonight. So yeah, it's really you know, off-putting. It's really difficult to kind of refocus, but fortunately, hopefully the girls will just keep it simple, get to halftime and be able to regroup in a sense.
They lead by a 0 Alex Greenwood has won a throw deep in England territory. Interesting here that Georgia Stanway has slotted into where Keira Walsh is playing in defensive midfield. Coombs and Tuna playing a little bit further up. There's Rachel Daly dispossessed on England's left-hand side, and the ball into the area. The early shot from Pernilla Harder. She dragged it right across the 6-yard box, and it spins out to where Lucy Bronze will clear. That is a let-off for England, and a player of Harder's ability. She just snatched it, didn't she, Denmark's record goal scorer?
Yeah, I'm really surprised, to be honest, Vicky, that she didn't capitalize on that, because you could see there was a gaping hole in that central midfield space that Laura Coombs had just vacated. And oh, there was real danger there for the England backline, but fortunately it didn't come off for Denmark.
England 1, Denmark 0 here on BBC Radio 5 Live. A reminder, you can watch this match over on BBC One. If you'd like to, you can sync up the pictures by pressing the red button or choosing the option to watch with our commentary on BBC iPlayer. Ball is all the way back with Nina Christensen, the Danish goalkeeper, who clears up towards halfway. We'll have reaction all throughout the Women's World Cup every day for you on the Football Daily, which you can download from BBC Sounds, as Pernilla Harder goes down, high boot to the face, and Denmark win the free kick just inside their own half.
No. I don't. I hate to say it, but yeah, Georgia Stanway comes in, tries to clear the ball, and just absolutely whacks the ball off Pernilla Harder's face. I'm really sorry, but that was pretty funny.
Yes, it's almost one of those Michi Batshuayi ones where he fires it off the post and it hits his own face. But that time it was Georgia Stanway doesn't catch Harder with the boot. It is the ball that hits her in the face. And so we play on with Harder back up to her feet and with a wry smile on her face as well. England in possession. Here is Laura Coombs. Nice turn just inside the Danish half. Gets it back from Alessia Russo, who's been relatively quiet so far. As Coombs goes down, is fouled by Katrina Kuhl, the Arsenal midfielder. It will be a free kick to England, a third of the way inside the Danish half. The referee not happy with how quickly Georgia Stanway took that, or whether the ball was moving. Didn't seem to be too much wrong with that, so Stanway takes it again, goes left this time instead of right, and finds Daly. James leaves it, two won't latch onto it, but Denmark have given the ball away. Here is Daly once more. England 1, Denmark 0 at the Women's World Cup here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, as Katrina Vajat heads the ball out of play. Lucy Bronze will take this throw for England midway through the Danish half. Back to Millie Bright on the halfway line, as Alex Greenwood as an option and uses her. So yes, Football Daily available on BBC Sounds, and while you're there, check out Jill Scott's Coffee Club as well. Latest episodes, what a guest to have. The England manager, Serena Wiegman, sitting down with Jill. Download the BBC Sounds app, search for the Football Daily or Jill Scott's Coffee Club, or both if you'd like to. Hit subscribe.
This is fascinating stuff, Vix. You can see Georgia Stanway's picked up a more central but slightly left back position as Rachel Daly has gone and advanced, and Lauren James has come in that central area again. They're really looking for those overloads in those half spaces. And
they're really covering the spaces, aren't they, as well, as Chloe Kelly swings the ball into the area. It's over the head of Russo, and Rega Saveka will clear up towards halfway for Denmark. Rachel Daly is there, bringing the ball down under a bit of pressure, just was waiting for the bump in the back from Yanni Thompson. Got it, and England get the free kick. They lead by a 0.
This is good management from England. I think, listen, the tempo is slowed. They understand, you know, that they've had a difficult situation. They're trying to solve the problems by managing and trying to control the game through the possession. So they're just moving the block, shifting it, probing for those spaces to appear, and making sure that every movement forward is essentially a high-quality option.
Lucy Bronze with the ball forward. Laura Coombs fell over. It was cleared into her by Simona Boyer, and Denmark do come away with the ricochet. Here is the Everton midfielder Karen Holmgaard out to the right-hand side, and Saveka field now to Balisea, who goes all the way back to Lena Christensen, all in green. The Danish goalkeeper out to the left-hand side come Denmark, but still penned in their own half, trailing England by a goal to nil. But Vyers going on another one of those runs over the halfway line, goes the left back forward. She goes to Madsen, who's had a decent opening, skewed it wide in this first half. Madsen's delivery, Harder was in there. She's committed the foul just inside the England penalty area. Rachel Daly's down, whistle's gone, England free kick.
That's really, really brave defending there from Rachel Daly. She sees a potential threat, and she goes and attacks it just like she would do if she was in the, the other area. Really, she's determined to absolutely go and win that header, and is rightly so fouled by Pernilla Harder, who just essentially runs into her with an elbow or a body into the back.
Well, Millie Bright is helping Rachel Daly to her feet as we enter 4 minutes of added time. I can't work out the added time here. They add on so much in most games, but 4 minutes. We've had Kira Walsh stretch it off, which took ages. We've had the goal. We know they add on time for the goal celebrations as well, and there were some because it was a cracker from Lauren James. She's had the substitution as well, Laura Coombs. We've got 4 minutes at a time. Anyway, there we go. 4 minutes for England to see out this first half, leading by a goal to nil against Denmark. A win coupled with Haiti avoiding defeat against China later in Group D would see England through to the last 16 with a game to spare. They have the ball on the left-hand side. In field they go to Georgia Stanway. Plays it forward to Alessia Russo, dropping deep to receive possession. Under pressure, good pressure from Balisea, the centre-half who went with her. So she plays it back to Alex Greenwood, and there's the distribution that England were missing from centre-half that Leah Williamson offers. She's not here, the injured England captain, but Greenwood can spray the ball just as well from that sort of area. Lucy Bronze, right-hand side of the box, pulls it across, cleared away by Boyer inside her own 6-yard box. And Katrina Vyers off and away once again, cuts the ball in field. Brought down by Madsen. Lucy Bronze gets a toe in. Chloe Kelly does as well. Madsen does well there, under real pressure to bring the ball away for Denmark. Here is Katrina Kuhl of Arsenal, plays the ball over the top, looking for Thompson, who's beaten in the air initially by Greenwood, who then heads it into Georgia Stanway. Stanway then goes down under pressure from Josefina Hasbo. And it will be a free kick to England, but that's one of those, that's fine margins there, Karen. Good pressure from Hasbo, and Stanway getting the decision. If she hadn't, Hasbo might have been able to send Denmark away there.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Vicky. I mean, Georgia Stanway does well to get her body across and protect the ball, but yeah, I mean, in other situations, in other games that we've seen so far in this tournament, that might not have been called as a foul.
90 seconds to play in this first half here on 5 Live. England 1, Denmark 0 at the Women's World Cup. But the key talking point, other than the beauty of the Lauren James goal, that injury to Kira Walsh. Stretch it off. Lucy Bronze brings it forward. Here is Georgia Stanway, sees James in space, but James was just on her heels there, and the ball spins past her and out for a Danish throw. And having scored such a beautiful goal, Karen, she's been quiet or so in the last 15 minutes, Lauren James, but you know that she always has that quality to burst into life again.
Yeah, you can see, I think that the build-up has kind of changed in terms of, the areas that she's receiving it. We're starting to see a little bit more joy down this near-hand side with the likes of Lucy Bronze getting forward and that big switch from Alex Greenwood or Rachel Daly. But like you said, the option from Lauren James is always there because she finds beautiful pockets of space in between 2, 3, 4 players at times.
On the halfway line is Alex Greenwood. In field now to Millie Bright. She did say before this tournament, Lauren James, that she doesn't want to be known as Reece James's little sister. I think we can just know her for the beauty of that goal and the quality that she's shown in this match, as Kelly does well, wins a free kick down by the corner flag, and Lucy Bronze picks up the ball, and England will have a set piece deep in added time at the end of this first half. Can they double their lead going into the break against Denmark?
And again, it's very, very good wing play down this near hand side. We got side triangles all over the pitch, well, in the wide areas anyway. But yeah, a bit, would you say, sloppy defending, a bit, too aggressive, and then a bit of a push in the back, and Chloe Kelly knows how to ride those anyway, so a great opportunity on goal here.
And it is Kelly from this free kick, wide on the right-hand side, swings it in again. They look for Bronze at the corner of the 6-yard box on the far side, but that time Denmark were wise to it. 3 red shirts went up with Lucy Bronze. She couldn't win the header, and it's out of play for a Denmark throw deep in their own territory. Played the minimum 4 minutes added on. We're into 5 now. Maybe the referee agrees that maybe we should have had a bit more added time. England leading by a goal to nil as James blocks that. It spins nicely to Russo, who brings it down nicely down by the corner flag. James is there as an option. Russo trying to work room to get the crossing. Good defending by Balasea. Concedes the throw, but stood up well there. And there is the half-time whistle. A half that largely has been very, very positive for England. Lauren James with the only goal. 6 minutes in. Beautiful curler from just outside the penalty area. Past the despairing dive of Lena Christensen. Certainly a deserved lead for England, but as those players go in, Karen, I'm sure the thoughts will turn to Keira Walsh. Stretch it off with what looks like a knee injury, and as Gilly Flaherty back in the UK said, we just hope that it's not another ACL.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the girls will be very concerned, but they know they have a job to do, and they're going to do it for Keira Walsh.
So half-time here at the Sydney Football Stadium. England 1, Denmark 0.
Vicky, thank you. Gilly Flaherty watching this game in London for us as well, part of our team here, albeit she is based in England and we are in Sydney. But Gilly, it was going so brilliantly well, and it still was going well, but that injury to Keira Walsh in the 38th minute towards the end of this first half is the major big talking point.
Yeah, I think if you're talking about the game, obviously it's a great start from England. It was a brilliant start. They started brightly. Denmark couldn't physically get out of their box. Obviously Lauren James scores a cracker of a goal, and England look alive. And then obviously you're seeing then that Denmark started to come into the game, but come into the game through England's turnovers. They was a bit sloppy in possession, and that's when obviously Denmark looked dangerous. Is on the counter attack, and then obviously Keira Walsh's injury. I think obviously I'm back at home, so I'm able to see replays of it on the screen and that, and straight away, as soon as the camera goes on her, she signals to the bench and she said, it's my knee. So I think she knows it's pretty serious just by her reaction, but like I said, you feel sick at the thought of thinking that it potentially could be another ACL.
And Karen, we saw here in Sydney, albeit on television you could see her reaction, but straight away she signalled, and as she was being stretchered off towards the tunnel, Serena Wiegman went over to her. She had her eyes covered, but she was clearly emotional, Keira Walsh.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, listen, I've played with her for years at Manchester City, and I think there were times when, she picked something up, like an injury, and wasn't sure like how serious it was, and it was really scary, and obviously it's going to be a really emotional kind of time, but that to me look different. I think when something doesn't feel right, and she's close friends with Leah obviously, and they will have had that conversation, and she will have seen it numerous times. So listen, my thoughts go out to her and her family, and I really, really hope it's just not what we think it might be.
If you want to get involved, you could even tell us what you're having for brunch as you're watching this match and listening to it here on 5 Live Sport. It's at 5 Live Sport, or you can text 85058. England leading Denmark by a goal to nil. We will talk about that Lauren James goal, but obviously the injury to Keira Walsh towards the end of this first half has kind of taken over things. Jack, though, has been in touch. England now missing their 3 most influential players from the Euros in Walsh, Williamson and Mead. It's a big ask, Jack says, to win the World Cup now. Another one, Keira Walsh is not only the best and most important player for the Lionesses, but she's also one of the best footballers in the world. Her impact is unrivaled. She is truly a midfield magician and is so key for England. This injury is brutal on so many levels. Just minutes after Lauren James's goal, what a goal. We're going to talk about this. What a goal was trending. It was trending in the UK. Lauren James, of course, the Lionesses' second youngest goal scorer, at a Women's World Cup. She's 21 years old, but for the record books, 21 years, 302 days today, behind only Jill Scott against Argentina, Karen Bardsley, in 2007. And Simon saying, can't get a better feeling for a football manager. You bring 2 new players into the team and they combine to create a goal after 6 minutes.
Yeah, it really was just so fun. I mean, the way the Lionesses started, it looked like everyone was just bursting with confidence. Everyone knew exactly what the game plan was, where players were going to be before they were there, where the spaces were going to emerge. And I think, frankly, like, Denmark looked really, really shocked. They couldn't handle how quickly the ball speed was, how quickly they were being stretched in all various areas across the pitch. And, to see Lauren James in particular pick that ball up and travel centrally and watch the goals. Oh, the goal just opens up. And as a goalkeeper, I mean, you're thinking, I can handle an angle, no problem. But then suddenly it feels like a really big ask. And she loves shaping the ball, Lauren James, and it just bent beautifully past the outstretched hands of the Danish goalkeeper.
Well, those Haiti vibes and those nerves nowhere to be seen here in this first half, where England lead Denmark in Sydney by a goal to 0 over on Sports Extra 5. Sports Extra, we've got ball-by-ball commentary of the second day of the 5th test of the men's Ashes, and Ellie Aldroyd is at the Oval. Ellie.
Hello, Juliet. Yes, 35 minutes to go until the start of play here. Australia resuming 61 for 1, 222 runs behind England's first inning score of 283. And sitting alongside me is Stephen Finn, former England fast bowler. And Finny, it's absolutely crucial, isn't it, obviously, for England to take early wickets today. Who is going to be the person to take them?
Well, it feels that way, doesn't it? I think Chris Woakes, who took the wicket last night, bowled beautifully, as he has done since he came back into the side. In the 3rd test match, I think Mark Wood's extra pace is going to be helpful later on in the piece when England are trying to knock over the Australian tail. But I think first up I'll be going to Stuart Broad and Chris Woakes to make the breakthrough, because they probably looked most threatening last night.
It's quite cloudy overhead again today, and it's muggy again. It's kind of this strange sense that we're sitting up here in an air-conditioned box. You don't really know what it's like outside, but you could tell that the players were just struggling a little bit with the warmth and the humidity.
Yeah, I mean, I walked around the ground to get a coffee and I was sweating yesterday afternoon, so it was humid out there, and they're nice bowling conditions actually. When it's humid like that, you feel warm, you feel like you can bowl big long spells, and England's are going to need that today. They're going to need to build pressure from both ends. Australia, the ball's only 25 overs old, but those 25 overs are the most dangerous for the bowling team for taking wickets. So they've got through that tough initial period. They've only lost 1 wicket, and the onus is on England now to try and make breakthroughs early to reel Australia back in.
What we do know is that Moeen Ali's not going to be fielding in this innings, because he's struggled. He suffered a right groin injury when he was batting yesterday, and he's going to be assessed by the England medical team for the rest of the test match. I mean, that is a big blow.
It is, yeah. Todd Murphy took 2 wickets yesterday. It wasn't turning, but it was bouncing, and Moeen gets nice bounce and nice overspin on the ball, so he could have proved threatening and would have meant that the England seamers at the other end aren't over bowling, and they could have rested and rotated and been fresh for their spells. So it does add a challenge. England have got Joe Root, who bowled ably at the beginning of the series at Edgbaston in that first test match when Moeen's finger had a big blister on it, so he might have a job to do today. But initially, with this cloud cover and a 25 overall ball, it'll be the seamers looking to do the work.
We do say often, don't we, that you don't really know how good a first innings score is for the team batting first until both teams have batted. And by the look of the way Australia went around about things yesterday evening, you would have thought that England maybe underperformed. They left some runs out there.
Well, potentially, but they score so quickly. It has been very hard to gauge, hasn't it, what is a good score for both teams. But certainly 283, and with Australia only having lost 1 wicket overnight, at the moment it looks as though England might be 70 or 80 runs under par, but things in this series have always changed very quickly, so I expect nothing less from today.
Absolutely. It's been unpredictable all the way through, and that's what's made it such fun in lots of ways. Finny, you need to go downstairs because in 1 minute he is due on Test Match Special with Jonathan Agnew. So thank you to Stephen Finn. He'll be with me throughout the day, on and off. But Juliet, back to you.
Thanks, Ellie. We'll have updates on the cricket throughout the day. It is approaching 10:30 here in Sydney. And so, well, 10:30 in the UK, should I say. I never get this time right. I've been here 2 weeks and I'm still as confused as ever. It's 7:30 here in Sydney, 10:30 in the UK. We can get the latest BBC News from Karishma Patel.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The High Court has ruled the Mayor of London's extension of ULEZ to cover the entire capital is lawful. 5 Conservative councils had challenged the expansion of the ultra-low emission zone from August 29th, arguing it was beyond Sadiq Khan's powers. The scheme aims to cut air pollution by charging drivers of the most polluting vehicles £12.50 a day. NatWest has reported pre-tax profits of £3.6 billion for the first half of this year. It's better than expected. Earlier this week, 2 senior executives of the bank stepped down in a row over the closure of Nigel Farage's account with Coutts. NatWest's chair, Sir Howard Davies, says he won't resign, though Mr Farage has called for it. Harriet Baldwin is a Conservative MP and chair of the Treasury Select Committee.
Sir Howard Davies has already announced that his term is ending. There is a search underway for the new chairman. Obviously, there needs to be some continuity, but there is also an internal independent review that NatWest are doing of this whole affair. So I think that the succession planning seems to be well underway at the organisation.
US prosecutors have widened their investigation into Donald Trump's handling of government documents after he left the White House. One allegation is that an employee was asked to delete camera footage at Mr. Trump's Florida estate, showing classified documents being moved. Mr. Trump says the charges are part of a witch hunt. And holidaymakers and dog walkers are being warned to stay away from sick or dead birds on the coast as bird flu continues to spread. Beaches across the UK have been affected. Tim Birch is from Wildlife Trust Wales.
We need real and urgent action. We don't need strategies, we need plans, and we need it to happen fast. We need clear guidance about how we collect and pick up the dead seabirds. We actually need money and resources to actually enable us to do that. We need more surveillance, more monitoring about the virus.
That was Tim Birch from Wildlife Trust Wales. That was the news on 5 Live.
From 5 Live Sports,
The FIFA Women's World Cup 2023
with Juliette Farrington.
So England are leading Denmark at half-time by a goal to nil. They just showed replays of Lauren James's absolute stunner. She scored in the 6th minute. The downside of that is that Keira Walsh was stretchered off in the 38th minute, late on in the first half. The England substitutes, they're training out on the pitch. As it stands, we're waiting for the players to come out. So while we do that, over on the BBC Sport website from 11:55 this morning, it's really busy right now with so much sport. We've got commentary from the Swimming World Championship. Steve Parry and Karen Pickering are part of our team. Steve, it's a big day for the men's 4x200 metre relay team. Can they get that gold that they want?
Well, very exciting day, and coming off the back of yesterday as well, where Great Britain, they matched their tally from the Worlds last year, already getting 5 medals in this meet, so it's been excellent for them so far. But we're all very excited about this men's 4x200 freestyle relay. They are Olympic champions in this event and hot favourites, but just listen to this. They've got the Olympic champion Tom Dean, they've got the Olympic silver medalist Duncan Scott, and they've got 2 world champions, Matt Richards and James Guy. We are definitely on world record watch.
And Karen, Ben Proud, another medal hope to put our eyes onto too.
Yeah, absolutely. The man that won the Europeans, the Commonwealths and the World Championships last year on the 50 freestyle. He goes in the semi-finals of that later day. Some big names. It is a very, very tough swim for him. And we've also James Guy, he'll be in the relay, but prior to that he's got the semi-finals of the 100 metres butterfly alongside Jacob Peters. He had to swim off to make that semi-final, so that was a tough. He's already had to swim that twice today. He'll go in the semi-finals of that. And we've got Katie Shanahan in the 200 backstroke. She was disqualified earlier in the week on the 200 medley, so she'll be delighted to have made it through to the semi-finals. 4th fastest 200 backstroke for her.
Thanks, guys. Commentary on those races on 5 Live later on as well. But from 11:55, you can hear all of it on the BBC Sport website. The Lionesses, they are out on the pitch. They are in a team huddle The Danish players are out too. England leading 1-0 as we go into the second half with Karen Bardsley alongside Vicky Sparks.
Thanks very much, Jules. So, England 45 minutes away from doing their bit to try and qualify for the last 16 with a game to spare. If they beat Denmark here in Sydney and Haiti avoid defeat against China in Group D's other match later, a game of which we will have updates here for you on 5 Live, then England are through to the knockout stages. We await news on Keira Walsh stretching off with that knee injury in the first half. But Lauren James's goal inside the opening 6 minutes, a stunner from just outside the area, the difference between these sides. And as England prepare to get us underway, Karen Bardsley, what will Serena Wiegmann want to see from her side in this second half?
I think Serena Wiegmann is going to want to see more of what she saw, obviously, in the first, or would you say 20, 30 minutes of this game. It's going to be a bit more difficult, obviously, now where arguably their orchestrator is no longer on the pitch, with Keira Walsh getting stretchered off. But listen, there's plenty of other opportunities to build up and get forward. I think we'll see a lot more wide play, but ultimately I think Serena Wiegmann's going to want to see more domination of this game through possession and control.
Yes, that's something she spoke about in the pre-match press conference yesterday here in Sydney. And as Karen says, England certainly did that in the first 20 minutes or so, but Denmark came back into the match and had a couple of half chances. Harriet's yet to be called into serious action, and it's England coming forward. Simona Boyer clearing that cross away with Russo lurking. It's an early corner for England, which will be taken over on that right-hand side by Chloe Kelly.
I think England are really going to have to capitalise on their set pieces. You know, I think to kind of put some of the anxiety that's kind of floating in this stadium around this game right now. Obviously a goal would really, really settle everyone down, but I'd like to see more conversion from England.
So both arms in the air from Chloe Kelly, drives it into the edge of the 6-yard box. They didn't go for Lucy Bronn this time, and it creates a bit of havoc in the Danish defence. Eventually, Stina Balasea clears the ball out for another England corner, which will be taken from this left-hand side this time.
I do see, like, just from watching the body language and, you know, the first few minutes here in this second half, like, England do feel confident. They do look like they know exactly what it is that they need to do. And they look really, really dangerous from these set pieces.
England's 6th corner of the match. Alex Greenwood swings it in. Russo's in there, so is Bronze. Heads it down, and it's poked over the bar from 10 yards. Big opportunity as Bronze won the initial header. And the bodies were coming in, but they can't keep it down. And they can't convert. Denmark just about doing enough. It's a snapshot from Ella Thun, who is leaning backwards and sends it over the bar.
Again, I'm sure there will be plenty more opportunities to come, but Denmark really taking their time and build up here.
The England chants echoing around Sydney Football Stadium. Red and white all around us, although of course those are the colours of the Danish flag as well. But we can certainly see many England flags lined up along the bottom of the stand, away to our left and our right as well. Got a Germany flag there as well. Of course, people in Sydney coming to watch all sorts of Women's World Cup matches, not just their own teams, but if you're in town, why not get a ticket and come along, is certainly the attitude. And you do sense that Australia and New Zealand are very much embracing this tournament as a Mexican wave ripples around beneath us. In the lower tier, Stina Balasea plays a free kick forward for Denmark, headed away by Alex Greenwood on the edge of the England penalty area. England leading by a goal to nil here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds as Chloe Kelly picks it up. Very good work on the halfway line. She's got Russo to her right. Kelly still going, lays it off to Russo, lifts it to the left-hand side where Lauren James is, but it's a poor delivery from Russo and it's straight out of play, and the chance is gone for England, who still lead by the goal to nil.
Oh, and Chloe Kelly is progressing the ball centrally, and it's a 3v2 in England's favour, and I think she just plays the ball out to the right-hand side, that far side, and it's just behind Alessia Russo. And I think, personally, for me, with the game that Lauren James has had, the option was on the left.
Yes, it eventually went out that way, but poor ball as Lucy Bronze swings the delivery into the area over the head of Ella Thun and bounces behind for a Denmark goal kick. Lucy Bronze, who is making her 15th Women's World Cup appearance, which is a joint 3rd on the list of World Cup appearances for England, alongside yourself, Karen and Steph Houghton.
Gosh, Well, I mean, when you said that initially, I was thinking, that doesn't sound like that many, but then I realized, actually, that doesn't come around every year, does it?
Very true, indeed.
But no, interesting again here with this this goal kick that we're seeing from Denmark. They're choosing to spread the pitch really, really wide, and they're obviously pinning the fullbacks for England in terms of creating some space in the midfield for their fullbacks to get on the ball, which they managed to do.
And here they come down the left-hand side with Katrina Weyer, who does really like to get forward. Tries the crossfield pass, but Rachel Daly reads it from that left-back position. Daly starting at left-back today, one of two changes that Sarina Wiegman's made. Daly, who played there all throughout the Euros last summer as England won their first major tournament. But it's the WSL's Golden Boot winner for Aston Villa this season, playing, of course, as a striker, not at left-back, as the ball is all the way through with Mary Earps. Do you think now we will see this back line for the rest of the tournament from Wiegman?
Ooh, that's a good question, Vicky. Initial thoughts are Alex Greenwood will certainly be at that left side centre back position. I think we might see something different that you mentioned earlier that we hadn't seen from Sarina Wiegman in terms of taking the opposition into account about whether or not Rachel Daly plays in this left back position. But yeah, I do think this is certainly working for England at the minute.
And they lead by a goal to nil, 5 minutes gone in this second half on 5 Live. And BBC Sounds all miscontrolled by Millie Bright, and Madsen was almost in. What a brilliant sliding challenge by Alex Greenwood to deny Madsen a clear run at goal, and Mary Earps. That is potentially a goal-saving tackle, and good job she was at centre half there as the ball goes out of play for an England throw. They've shot down the other end deep in Danish territory.
You're absolutely right, Vicky. I mean, that was a game-changing tackle for sure.
Ella Toon picks it up, right-hand side, infield to Lucy Bronze, swings it in, headed away by Simona Boyer, comes back out to Georgia Stanway, who fizzes the ball out to the right-hand side, and Chloe Kelly, back to Toon. Kelly receives it once more, steps past Via like she isn't there, plays the ball in, poor delivery, cleared away by Josefina Hasbo for Denmark, but England pick it up once more, playing in the white shirts, the dark blue shorts, and the white socks, from right to left in this second half in Sydney. Denmark all in red. And Millie Bright, who might still be breathing a sigh of relief, has it on halfway.
Yeah, I think she just took the pace out of that back pass, and maybe, I think she knew that Madsen was there, but I just don't think she realised that how soft the pass was. But what I keep looking at here is, we're obviously seeing Lucy Bronze on the far side with Chloe Kelly, trying to create 2v1 situations. Chloe Kelly loves getting around the fullback and delivering, but what I'm seeing centrally is that Alessia Russo is maybe too early to arrive in the area, as for Ella Toon, as for Lauren James.
Millie Bright wins the header, almost falls to Yanni Thompson. England get the foot in, Hasbo and Saveka between them, work it out to Thompson once more on the right-hand side, hard to see the centre, currently offside, getting back onside. Thompson's ball in, Katrina Cools there, and the little toe poke is gathered by Mary Earps, but she had so much space, the Arsenal midfielder, inside that England penalty area. That's a warning for England, who still lead by a goal to nil.
Oh, it was a warning indeed. I think really good wing play down this near side. I think the recovery run from Laura Coombs was there. Alex Greenwood was there framing the goal as well to kind of give Mary Earps an angle to work with. But fortunately for England, it wasn't well executed.
So Denmark in possession just outside their own penalty area. England with Earps in goal, the back four of Bronze, Bright, Greenwood and Daly. Ahead of them it's Stanway, Toon and Coombs now, who's come on for Kira Walsh, who, if you're just joining us on 5 Live, was stretchered off with a knee injury in the first half. We await news on the severity of that. We deeply, deeply hope it's not another ACL for England, who of course are missing Beth Mead and their captain Leah Williamson for this tournament with that injury. Chloe Kelly, Alessia Russo and Lauren James, the goal scorer, complete the forward line as the ball is over the top, won't be kept in by Thompson, who goes out of play for an England throw. Denmark with Christensen in goal, the back four of Saveka, Balasaya, Boyer and Via. Ahead of them it's Hasbo, Hongard and Kuhl, with Thompson, Madsen and Pernilla Harder, their record goal scorer, the former Chelsea player, one of the best players in the world up front. And she has had a couple of half chances, one in particular that she skewed wide, took it early, scuffed the shot that really should have tested Mary Earps but didn't do so. Denmark coming forwards once more down this right-hand side. Good work by the Everton midfielder Holmgaard. Thompson misses out though, but Cool, the Arsenal player, almost picks it up well, defended by Rachel Daly, and then Lauren James goes down and intelligently wins that free kick there for England.
Again, another perfect example of why Rachel Daly just slots in perfectly at that left back position. She's so calm and comfortable in the ball in really tight spaces. So to have a ball-playing defender just really gives that stability. It allows England to counter-attack as well really, really quickly.
So England in possession, just outside their own penalty area, leading by a 0-0. All the reaction throughout the Women's World Cup, you can find that on the Football Daily. Head to BBC Sounds and download that podcast. And while you're there, check out Jill Scott's Coffee Club, interview with Serena Wiegman, the Lionesses manager, to enjoy there. Go to BBC Sounds, download the app, search for either or both podcasts and click subscribe as Christensen nervily clears away at the back for Denmark. Sveke plays it straight to Georgia Stanway. Ella Toon won't latch onto it. Balasea clears away. Lucy Bronze takes charge in the centre circle and is driving forward now. Bronze to Russo, just outside the penalty area. Plays it out to the left-hand side, and Lauren James, couple of step-overs. Get cheers from the crowd, and Hasbo there is eventually going to have to concede the corner, and that's good play by Lauren James. Hasbo looked as though she'd eased in front of the Chelsea attacker and managed to shield the ball out for a goal kick, but James didn't give it up, played it back into Hasbo, and it's a corner kick to England.
It's such a cheeky little nutmeg from Lauren James in that edge of the area here on this near side. She's so quick with her feet and she's so well balanced that Sveke had no chance.
So Greenwood with this corner for England, who lead by a 0-0 here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Greenwood swings it in, it's headed down. England are appealing for a foul there, but the corner is given, and I think in the end that is what they were appealing for rather than the penalty. So more pressure at the Danish far post yields another set piece for England. Over on that far side, Chloe Kelly walks to the quadrant and prepares to take.
Again, for me, it's about the delivery here, the consistency of delivery, but the first phase, in terms of the first contact, we need to be really, really lively to the knockdowns as well in the area, because there's certainly numbers there for England.
Right arm raised in the air from Chloe Kelly. Drifts the ball in, it's headed away by Balasea, and Katrina Kuhl with a miscue clearance trying to help it on, just sends it straight out for another England corner. Can they make this set piece count, Karen Bardsley?
I certainly hope so, but I think the opportunity might lie in a short corner. We haven't seen one yet, but there's so many numbers in the area. It would be really, really helpful. Lauren James on the edge of the area here to kind of create some space and draw some of those numbers out.
So far they're not utilising that option as Greenwood drifts it in. Bronze arriving with the header, sends it wide, and that was certainly only one thing on the mind of Lucy Bronze, and she stayed down here. Pernilla Harder was there, she spotted the danger. Harder, she went across to block Bronze, who is getting back up to her feet. That's the last thing England need, another injury, having seen Kira Walsh stretch it off in the first half. But she came in like a train there, Lucy Bronze.
Yeah, she actually did. I mean, what a unit, right? No, but Pernilla Harder is really clever. She knows she's not going to win the header, so she does anything she can with her body to kind of put the trajectory of Lucy Bronze off, and she managed to do it that time. But what a ball in from Alex Greenwood.
Yeah, they really do have several set-piece specialists in this side. England and on the bench as well. Katie Zellem, the Manchester United captain. As the ball goes out of play, it will be a throw to Denmark deep inside their own territory. England leading by a 0-0. 12 minutes gone in this second half. We will have commentary live from Australia of every single Lionesses match at this Women's World Cup for you on 5 Live. Do make us your breakfast stop, as it were. Get your favourite beverage, get your favourite breakfast, and come and join us on the mornings. The next match is on Tuesday morning, live from Adelaide against China. But England could qualify for the last 16 with a game to spare if they win here, as they are doing in Sydney, and if Haiti don't lose to China in Group D's other match later today. We'll have updates from that game for you on 5 Live. And a reminder, our coverage of the Ashes continues over on 5 Sports Extra, ball-by-ball coverage of the second day of the final test at the Oval. Cleared away by Denmark over the halfway line. They've won a free kick. The Swedish referee, Tess Olofsson, has called play back. So they have a set piece midway through their own half, which Boyer will take out to the left-hand side. It's sloppy from Denmark, it's straight out of play, and There's frustration here. I wonder if we've got a Danish journalist sitting down to our right, because somebody threw their arms up in the air in our media tribune in frustration. It was poor and wasted, really, from Denmark, who need to find a way to get back into this game.
They do. Yeah, at the minute, they're quite happy sitting in a block trying to force play out wide, which Alex Greenwood happily takes the opportunity to. But my question to you, Vicky, is we're heading towards 60 minutes. We're used to seeing the substitution about now, aren't we? My question is, with a 21-year-old who's absolutely set this game alight so far, who is going to be the next player to come on that makes that impact if necessary?
Well, that is a good question, Karen, as England pick it up on halfway. And you have to say, they're playing well at the moment, England, and you wonder whether, we saw Serena Wiegmann, didn't we, methodically, religiously almost, make substitutions, the same ones at a very similar time throughout the Euros. She got that momentum going. I just wonder, having changed the starting lineup, whether actually that's the momentum she'll focus on today, and let's leave the substitution conundrum for another time, because they're playing well at the moment, England, and as the ball goes out of play for an England throw deep in Danish territory, looking at it, I'm not sure who I'd take off, because all players in their different way are having an impact on this game.
I completely agree. I wasn't suggesting that there was a substitution needing to be made at all, but yeah, that did just kind of crop into my head, because the pace has been good, the intensity has been good. Is it tenable?
Alessia Russo, lovely turn inside the area, but the second touch just took her wide. She has kept it in though, tried to feed it back. Well, the referee says she didn't keep it in. The assistant over on the far side didn't raise her flag, but the referee, with her view, said no, that had gone out. Have to say, from our vantage point high up here in the stands at the Sydney Football Stadium, did look like it might just have spun out of play, but it's one of those, it's the curve of the ball, all of that's got to be behind the line, but in the end England didn't latch on to Russo keeping that in, and it will be a goal kick to Denmark.
Well, it's great to see, just the impact that Rachel Daly and Alex Greenwood have had on the game so far. They've been involved in so much down this left-hand side, and I think obviously Lauren James is one key element to that as well.
England pick up possession just inside their own half, leading by a goal to nil here on 5 Live. A reminder, you can watch this match live on BBC One. If you would like to, you can listen with our commentary as well. Just press the red button or find that option on BBC iPlayer as Lauren James goes down now just outside the penalty area. Free kick's gone the other way. James has been penalised for diving there. She's not going to get a yellow card, it looks like, from our Swedish referee Tess Olofsson. Denmark have the set piece though. What do we reckon, Karen Bardsley?
Where is she supposed to go? Frankly, listen, the thing that I love about Lauren James, she's brave to take people on. She finds the space, picks the ball up, plays a lovely ball into Ella Thun, who I think maybe could have taken an extra touch to kind of delay the run a little bit, but as Lauren James continues, she just absolutely flattens the Danish defender.
Yeah, I have to say it wasn't for a dive, it was for the challenge on Karen Holmgaard. That's turning into a little battle there. They've had a couple of words, or I should say Holmgaard's had a couple of words with Lauren James, of course players that know each other from the WSL. Holmgaard playing for Everton and James playing for Chelsea. As the ball is all the way back with Millie Bridle, that's a loose back pass, and Marriott's had to be quick there as Pernille Harder was closing down. But there you go, just an instance there, Karen, of how England can't afford to switch off, because Harder just takes up those positions. She knows exactly where the danger she can create will come from if there's a mistake, and England had half a mistake there, and Earps was alert.
You're right, it's about managing those moments. You can feel the momentum shifting a little bit as Laura Coombs, a bit of a loose pass there that was picked up by Pernille Harder.
Lauren James will clear away from that Danish throw, but England now, the white shirts are deep, and Balazea can send it all the way back to Lena Christensen. Big weekend of sport as ever coming up for you on 5 Live. Across the next couple of days, we've got the Belgian Grand Prix, we've got the Netball World Cup, World Swimming Championships, racing from Ascot as well, and of course continued coverage of the Ashes, both on 5 Live, and ball-by-ball coverage each day on 5 Sports Extras. Lucy Bronze plays the ball to Laura Coombs. Major tournament debut at the age of 32, but in circumstances that England wouldn't have wanted, and we include Coombs in that because she will be concerned for her teammate Keira Walsh. Stretch it off in the first half with a knee injury as the ball goes out of play. At the moment has been good performance from England, particularly in the first 20 minutes of the first half. Stunning goal from Lauren James, that's still the difference. More even in this second half, but still largely keeping Denmark at bay. But that injury to Keira Walsh, Karen, is the real blot on this match so far for England, and potentially going forward in this campaign if it looks to be serious, and we very much hope it's not, but we'll stretch it off. We await news.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, prayers and thoughts go out to her and her family. I really, really hope it's not as bad as it looked. But in terms of the situation that Laura Coombs now finds herself in, she's held her own. There's been a really nice fluid rotation between Ella Toone and Laura Coombs, with Georgia Stanway kind of anchoring in that holding midfield position.
Yep, Stanway definitely sitting more defensively than she was when Walsh was on the pitch. Of course, Walsh playing that defensive midfield as Via with the free kick on the halfway line for Denmark. Swings it to the edge of the area. Harder heads it on. Little push in the back there on Rachel Daly, and the free kick goes against Denmark, and Rachel Daly has her arms spread out, and Yanni Thompson, in frustration, simply has to walk away. England 1, Denmark 0.
Yeah, that has to be something out of frustration there. You can see her leaning into it, knowing that she's not going to get beyond Rachel Daly, and you just take one for the team there, Rach. And again, is this Denmark's attempt to kind of really put England off their game a little bit? There's a physical challenge. Will it take them away from their game plan? I don't think so.
Laura Coombs dispossessed just outside the centre circle. Denmark will try and come forward once more. Here is Arsenal's Katrina Kuhl. Simona Boyer, the former Arsenal player, plays it out to that left-hand side, and Pernille Harder, and off she goes. Starting run. She's stopped just by Lucy Bronze inside the England penalty area. Out to the left-hand side, Denmark go again. Bronze gets the block, and it's a corner. Do you know what that reminds me of? That fabulous goal that she scored against Manchester United, Harder, when she ran just from the halfway line for Chelsea, darting past about 5 players, pulling the trigger. She had it in her legs there again, and Bronze did well.
It's nuts, isn't it, when you think about, actually, she spent a majority of last season out injured with Chelsea, didn't she? And the impact that she had for Chelsea when she was back fit. I think it was assisting Sam Kerr in the FA Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah, 5 months out she had with a hamstring injury, but as you say, brilliant record after coming back. 11 goals in 15 appearances. Quite remarkable. So first corner for Denmark of the game. It's swung into the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by Greenwood, picked up by Madsen, who plays it out to the left-hand side, picked up by Holmgaard, who took it off the toes of a teammate rather, and plays it back to Katrina Via. England 1, Denmark 0, live from Australia here in Sydney, the Women's World Cup on 5 Live. England clear the ball out of play, but we said before this match that Denmark would be a test for England. England have been very impressive, but it's not a surprise, Karen, that Denmark, ranked 13th in the world to England's 4th, are going to have spells like this as they play the ball into the area. Millie Bright all alone can thumpingly head the ball away, and clearance will be half completed by Georgia Stanway, who swings it out to this left-hand side. Lauren James loses out to Madsen, though, and Madsen has it, plays it to Saveku, who plays it off James. Denmark throw midway through England's half.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Vicky. I think the spaces are starting to appear now for England a little bit in terms of do they have the ability and the legs to continue to go and pressure in that same high intensity way that they have been from the start. Look, Denmark want to play that possession style football, don't they? They're used to building through the thirds. They've got really crafty wingers and central midfield players as well, so they'll provide real good tests for England in terms of how England choose to defend, etc. But the thing that I'm seeing here tonight is majority of the chances that Denmark are having are from just losses of possession from England.
They've lost the ball again. Poor ball by Millie Bright, and Pernille Harder picks it up. Lucy Bronze, though, will read that pass and very calmly deals with that down the right-hand side and plays it past Harder as well, teasingly so, as if to say, just stick a boot out, Pernille. She wasn't able to. England have lost it again, though, on the halfway line. Less dangerous position, but Madsen will pick it up now as Harder drifts into the centre. Lucy Bronze with defending to do once more. Coombs is back to help out for England as the red shirts of Denmark begin to set up camp outside the England penalty area. Midway through the second half here on 5 Live. England 1, Denmark 0 at the Women's World Cup here in Sydney. A reminder, an England victory coupled with Haiti avoiding defeat to China in Group D's other match later will see the Lionesses through to the last 16 with a game to spare. So they're holding their end of the bargain up at the moment. They've won the ball back. They have it just outside their own penalty area as Millie Bright squares it to her centre-half partner Alex Greenwood. Karen Bardsley.
Yeah, I mean, just continually intrigued by kind of what's going on in the midfield and especially in these wide areas as well. I mean, you can see Lucy Bronze getting forward at times, and then Rachel Daly is holding in terms of covering and balancing for when Lucy Bronze has gone forward. You can see that early in the game, there's real aggression in terms of bombing on from both fullbacks. And we're just not seeing that anymore. So I'm wondering if England aren't as confident going forward at the minute.
Might have a bit of confidence here, though. Well won by Stanway. Kelly to the edge of the box. Toon won't reach it. Good sliding challenge, intercepts it before Toon can latch onto it. England have it once more, though, and Rachel Daly goes all the way back to Alex Greenwood. As Denmark prepare to make their first substitution of the match. And it is Amalie Vangsgaard, who was their heroine against China. She came on the 85th minute, scored the winner on the 89th minute, looping header that really the Chinese goalkeeper should have done better with. But earned Denmark the 3 points. And she's looking to be the heroine once again as Rachel Daly plays it back to Alex Greenwood.
I think this is the lesson for all the kids out there coming from a goalkeeper. Get across the line of sight and you never know what's going to happen.
Day 2 is underway at the Oval. Ball-by-ball commentary of the Ashes is over on 5 Sports Extra. And we will have coverage throughout the 5th and final test for you on 5 Sports Extra and 5 Live today and across the weekend. So here comes this first change for Denmark, and it is Josefina Hasbo who will make way. Here is Amalie Vangsgaard looking to get on the score sheets off the bench once again. She plays for Paris Saint-Germain, who were runners-up in the French top flight this season. What a way it was indeed for her to get her first goal for Denmark as well at her first major tournament. On for your debut 4 minutes later, first goal for your country. You get the 3 points as well.
Yeah, and along with that substitution comes a little note that gets taken out to Madsen, who slyly tucks it away. But I imagine we'll see some structural changes quite shortly as Alessia Russo's in.
Yes, England come forward. Russo bursting towards the penalty area, still going. Russo pulls the trigger and fires wide. Close from Russo, who's been quiet, but that was a chance. Still just the goal advantage for England.
And it's well read. She reads the bounce really, really well over the Danish defender's shoulder. And yeah, she has a real intention about how she progresses into the box, but that shot unfortunately just goes a bit wide.
No, she enjoyed her best goal-scoring season of her career this season with Manchester United. Alessia Russo left, of course, for Arsenal this summer. It's Lauren James, whose goal remains the difference, scored inside 6 minutes. What a goal it was. And it is why England lead by a goal to nil as Chloe Kelly picks it up on the right-hand side. Russo waits in the centre of the penalty area, but England go all the way back to the halfway line. Millie Bright has it in the centre circle. Our reporter Katie Smith, who's here with us in Sydney, has spotted Keira Walsh back on the England bench on crutches. And we just hope for good news. She was stretchered off in the first half, if you're just joining us, with a knee injury. It didn't look good. We very much hope that the news is not as bad as we fear. But she's back out on the bench, and we will bring you any updates as soon as we get them on Walsh's condition here on BBC Radio 5 Live. England leading by a goal to nil, but Denmark are enjoying a decent spell of possession at the moment, but still yet to really test Mary Earps in the England goal. Can they do so here? Out to the left-hand side they go. Holmgaard will play it out to the left as the ball is swung in, and Earps had to watch it all the way and tip it away. It was dipping underneath the crossbar, and Mary Earps staying alert there as she has to do. Corner to Denmark. A speculative effort from Katrina Vaya, but it's one of those we talked about in the first half, isn't it, Karen? The cross shot, and Earps watched it all the way and poured it away with a big hand.
That's right, regardless of the intent, it was on target, wasn't it? And a back-pedaling Mary Earps, she moves her feet really, really well to extend and get that big hand to make sure that that ball doesn't just float into the top corner. So really, really well dealt with, and yeah, fantastic goalkeeping from Mary Earps. Very solid.
So Vaya is over to this near side, preparing to take the corner. Our referee, Tess Olofsson, is making her way towards an absolutely jam-packed 6-yard box. There's 5 players, plus goalkeeper Lena Christensen, outside it at the moment. Every other red and white shirt, bar Vaya, who's taking the corner, is inside that 6-yard box. Mary Earps is so crowded in there, a lone yellow figure as Via swings the ball in and it's onto the roof of the net. Well, she almost did a Katie McCabe, didn't she, for the Republic of Ireland, scoring directly from a corner, but couldn't do so, and it's onto the roof of Earps' net.
Yeah, Mary Earps dealt with that really, really well. I mean, listen, when there's loads of bodies in the area, you don't want to get focused on the battle. You want to focus on what's happening in front of you and pay attention to the flight of the ball. Don't get distracted from anything else.
But they're pressing higher, Denmark, as Brons clears away from Madsen, and that formation change, Vansgaard's gone up top, and Pernille Harder, who had been playing as the number 9 for Denmark, has just dropped into that 10, which is a more similar position to where we saw her play for Chelsea. I mean, she's so versatile. She has played up top for them, out wide as well, but she can dictate the game from that attacking midfield position. And
yeah, definitely looks like a 4-1-4-1 formation. And I mean, Pernille Harder is a fantastic player. She links up really, really well, and I think that will be her role going forward.
So Millie Bright in possession, substitutions being prepared by both sides. Bethany England and Lauren Hemp are preparing to come on for the Lionesses. What a moment this will be for Bethany England in particular, as Lauren James has it on the left-hand side. Rachel Daly will play it forward, looking for the run of Ella Toon, who under pressure won't be able to win that corner kick. It's good defending by Arsenal's Katarina Kuhl, but Bethany England, well, that's been another hot topic amongst Lionesses fans as well. Went to the Euros, was part of the squad that won it, but didn't feature. Hasn't featured yet at this World Cup, but she's about to come on for her major tournament debut, as the attendance of 40,439. That is a near sellout here at Sydney Football Stadium. Packed house, and here come the changes. So the first for England sees Alessia Russo make way. Ella Toon is coming off as well, and Lauren Hemp and Bethany England, who was in such brilliant form for Tottenham after joining them in January. 13 goals in 14 games. She gave Serena Wiegman no choice but to put her in the World Cup squad, and now she makes her major tournament debut. Karen Barton.
It's an exciting opportunity for Bethany England, isn't it? I've been waiting to see this opportunity for her. I mean, I think she's a fantastic player. She knows, she's just got a nose for goal. Like she's like a poacher in a sense. She always makes something happen with her work rate, with the way she presses. But you know, she left Chelsea, wasn't getting a lot of playing time, and took a gamble, went to a new club, and then got loads of minutes, and it made it so difficult for Serena Wiegman not to pick her. But we're seeing Lauren James obviously move into that 10 role, aren't we?
Well, they're having some issues with the substitution board here, but we can tell you, thanks to the announcements in the stadium, that Madsen and Balasea have come off for Sorensen and Turesen. So 2 changes for Denmark, 2 changes for the Lionesses. Let's bring in Gilly Flaherty on that Bethany England substitution. Gilly.
I'm sitting here on my own, clapping my hands, because I'm thinking it's about time that she's come on. I think she offers something completely different as well. And then obviously then with Lauren James now going in with the 10, with Tooney coming out, hopefully we'll see a bit of link-up play between them two as well. But I'm delighted for Beth.
Thanks very much, Gilly. And I'm sure many Lionesses fans listening to us on BBC Radio 5 Live will be delighted as well. I mean, they are blessed with an embarrassment of riches, really, going forward. But particularly, as Millie Bright plays the ball forward, here goes Bethany England, bounces off the back of Simona Boyer, the Danish defender, so she doesn't get to run in on goal. But if Rachel Daly's going to play at left back, then England really, obviously Daly could move further forward, but if we stick with this as the back line, then it's 2 players competing for that forward line position, Bethany England and Alessia Russo. And we talked about the substitution. She brought that up, Karen. Maybe this will now be the regular substitution that we saw Russo on for White in the Euros. We'll see England on for Russo at the World Cup.
Yeah, it's certainly a little bit different than what we saw at the summer, but so was the situation that Serena Wiegman finds herself in, you know, with this England side in terms of injuries, etc. But this looks like it could be a potential solution. I'm certainly excited to see what's going to happen in the next few moments.
So England leading by a 0-0, 12 minutes to play here at the Women's World Cup in Sydney. A reminder, you can watch the end of this game on BBC One as well. If you'd like to sync it up with our commentary, just choose the option via the red button or via the BBC iPlayer. Lucy Bronze with the throw over on the far side. So the Danish manager Lars Sundergaard will be hoping that his changes will make an impact as well. Nicolina Sorensen, the Everton player and Inter Milan's Frederega Turesson. Denmark need a goal. Not out of it yet, of course, in Group D. They won their opener late on against China. But England know if they hold on for this victory, it would be their second 1-0 win of the World Cup, another 3 points. If Haiti don't lose to China later, we have to say China again are the favourites for that match, but after we saw what Haiti did against England, you wouldn't bet against them. If Haiti don't lose later, England will be through to the knockout stages with a game to spare. Play stopped here because Yanni Thompson has gone down, and given what's happened in this match, Karen, given that we've seen Kira Walsh stretch it off with that knee injury in the first half, given that England have led since the 6th minute, given that the performance largely has been very much improved from the Haiti match, would you expect Serena Wiegmann and the Lionesses to now just try and see this one out? This feels to me more like the Austria game, the opener at the Euros, perhaps than Haiti did, where England largely are in control. They're keeping Denmark at bay. I don't think they did have the control against Haiti, but is this more like what we saw at Old Trafford, you and I?
Wow, I mean, it seems like so long ago now, but yeah, there was so much possession, I think, in that game against Austria. But in my opinion, I feel like the Haiti game was probably more in the sense that it was on tenterhooks the entire time. This, I feel like England are far more in control and more, they look more like scoring.
So, Thompson is back up to her feet. England have a throw, and let's head for an update from the cricket. Telly Oldroys.
10 minutes gone here, Vicky, and Australia haven't added to their overnight score yet. They're still 61 for 1, still 222 behind. Mark Wood and Jimmy Anderson, though, opening up this morning for England, have come so close to beating to getting an outside edge through to Johnny Bairstow or to the slips. But so far, Australia are surviving difficult conditions, 61 for 1.
Thank you very much, Ellie. And ball-by-ball coverage will continue over on 5 Sports Extra with Ellie and the team. Into the final 10 minutes plus added time here in Sydney on 5 Live. England 1, Denmark 0 at the Women's World Cup as Alex Greenwood takes charge, drives over the halfway line for England, out to the left-hand side, and Rachel Daly. Here is Lauren Hemp off the bench to try and help England get this second goal, which would surely secure the 3 points and potentially, depending on results later, a berth in the last 16. Daly's delivery, the header is flicked on and flicked just wide by Bethany England. Oh, she's in there, she's involved almost immediately after coming off the bench. And I'll tell you what, Karen, she will be so hungry to get on the score sheet and just prove how good she is to everybody who said, oh, she'll come here as the third choice striker and she might not get on the pitch.
Now, there's a sense of determination from Bethany England. She picks up really nice spaces in between the centre backs and makes herself always available.
So Denmark coming forward down this left-hand side. Still the slender advantage for England, thanks to that stunner in the opening 6 minutes from Lauren James. But Denmark, down the left they come, ball into the area, cleared away by the England captain Millie Bright. Will almost fall for the Everton midfielder Karen Holmgaard. Good fit in by Chloe Kelly, and Lucy Bronze will run the ball up towards halfway, brought down by England. Intelligent pass into the centre of the pitch, and will be played out to the left-hand side now with Lauren Hemp racing down that left wing. Has Daly there as an option and just slows the play down, Hemp, and Daly will play it forward quickly once more to Hemp, who's bullied out of it by Denmark and Thompson, but the ball over the top is poor and won't reach Amelia Vangsgaard, and Mary Epps can clear out to Lucy Bronze. Karen Bardsley.
Pernilla Harder will be really annoyed from that ball over the top. I think she was looking for, obviously, the Danish striker running in behind, but she was so isolated.
Ball over the top for Lauren Hemp to try and run in behind. Thompson, the wide player who's come to fill in at right back, does well, gets across, and the ball is out of play for a Denmark goal kick. All the reaction to this match will be on the Football Daily. Download that from BBC Sounds. Check out Jill Scott's Coffee Club as well while you're there. A sit-down interview with the Lionesses boss, Serena Wiegmann, who you can hear from as well in the Football Daily. We'll be getting post-match reaction for you here on 5 Live, and we'll try and bring that to you live as well, as Yanni Thompson picks it up in the right-back position for Denmark. Plays it back to Rega Saveka, who's slotted in at centre-half now, as Denmark look to find this late equaliser. They scored late on in their opening win against China. Can they do so against England, as Turesson almost gets the better of Daly, cleared away over the halfway line by Millie Bright. Saveka gets there ahead of Bethany England. Holmgaard, though, is beaten to it by Georgia Stanway, who then goes down. Our referee, Tess Olofsson, has a look and says, let's continue to play. So Stanway gets up to her feet in the centre circle. Lucy Bronze has it over on the far side. Lovely bit of play through the legs from Lucy Bronze, the most capped player in England's squad for this tournament. Using that experience now as England play the ball over the top. Bethany England will chase. Lena Christensen is out quickly and gathers for Denmark.
I like that about Beth England. She's so happy to drop in and kind of link up play, but she's also really happy to create that threat, that direct threat that I feel like just has been missing in this second half for England.
They still lead the Lionesses by a goal to nil. 6 minutes plus added time to play here on 5 Live as Thompson plays the ball forward. Well read again by Alex Greenman. She's had a brilliant match.
She's been excellent, you're absolutely right, and that's what she offers in that central channel.
Here is Lauren James, our lovely footwork to take her past Holmgaard, winning that personal battle on that occasion. Ball forward finds Chloe Kelly, picks it up, right hand side down to the byline, up against Via. Coombs is arriving in the penalty area. Bethany England's in there as well as Bronze will drive. Well, we've seen her do it at a World Cup. Norway 2015 comes to mind, but that one is wide of angle of post and bar.
It sure does. She loves a banger in a World Cup, doesn't she? But that's the magic of Lauren James. Again, picking up great balls and progressing them forward, then playing out wide. I mean, the timing, the balances this girl offers, it's magical to watch.
All over the top is intercepted by Millie Bright. I imagine you had quite a good view of that Lucy Bronze hit, Karen Bardsley.
Yes, I did. I remember celebrating by myself, just waiting for the rest of the team to join me.
Didn't do the run all the way up the pitch. I'm disappointed in you. Here is Pernilla Harder. Out to the left-hand side she goes, and to Everton's Nicolina Sorensen. Good delivery in, cleared away by Daly. Greenwood was sliding in as well, but Daly, taking no prisoners, thumps it up towards halfway, away from the waiting Pernilla Harder. Excellent defending by Rachel Daly as Denmark have it on the halfway line.
Vanguard's definitely proving a threat so far for this Danish attack.
As Via swings the ball in again, Harder's in there, Daly wins the header once more. She's so dominant in the air, Rachel Daly, using that defensively, being picked at left back. She stayed down inside the penalty area. Denmark, though, will continue to play with Katarina Kuhl. Plays it forward. Daly still down, trying to get back up to her feet. Pernilla Harder just took her eye off the ball there. Does keep it in down by the byline as Daly gets back up to her feet. Turusen lays it off to Pernilla Harder, and now Thompson once more. 4 minutes plus added time to play. England 1, Denmark 0. It's Katarina Kuhl. Dinks the ball out to the left-hand side. England appealing for offside. Flag stays down against Sorensen, who picks it up down by the corner flag. Swings it in, and Vanguard there and hits the post with the header. What an effort from Vanguard. Cleared away at the back by Lauren Hemp for England. And Denmark, the width of the post away from equalising. Well, she scored the winner against China with a header. She's so dangerous in the air. Mary Earps was beaten, and the woodwork comes to England's rescue as Hemp goes sliding in, wings the ball. Denmark throw. Karen Bardsley.
Oh my goodness, and it was kind of a ball that maybe had been given up on a little bit, but Vanguard makes a great run backside across Rachel Daly, and I'll be honest, I don't think Rachel Daly knew anything about where Vangsgaard was actually in relation to the ball, but what a shot missed. Huge opportunity for Denmark.
And they've made another change as Turusen plays that ball across, and fortunately for England goes straight out of play for a goal kick. Reading's Sanna Troelsgaard is on. Everton's Karen Holmgaard is off. 8 goals for Reading this season as they were relegated from the WSL for Troelsgaard. But Vangsgaard, you called it, Karen. You said she'd offered them that threat up front, and seconds later she hits the post with that header. And again, we saw, didn't we? Okay, it was the woodwork this time coming to England's rescue, but 1-0 they led against Haiti. Huge save at the end from Mary Earps, from Rosalind Elwasson, which would have made it 1-1. And for all, England have improved, and it has been a very much improved performance. The post, a little bit narrower, and it's 1-1. England are dropping 2 points.
Yeah, we certainly have a lot to be grateful now, I think, as an England fan. But again, this is the threat, you know, that you constantly have to be alive to is in the back four. Particularly, this was a role that Kira Walsh did really well in kind of protecting that back four and slowing down the runs coming centrally. We've seen a tendency of Georgia Stanway to start ball watching a little bit and miss things on the back shoulder.
Laura Coombs clears away, but nobody is out there on the right-hand side, and Lena Christensen, Denmark goalkeeper, can pick it up just inside her own penalty area. Lauren James putting on the pressure, but England under pressure in the final 60 seconds plus added time. They lead Denmark by a 1-0, but look at the space here on the edge of the area. Sorensen almost latching onto it, will pick it up, appeals for handball for England, referee says no. Sorensen still going, forced out of the penalty area, pulls the ball back across. Millie Bright will clear away. They're furious, the England players. Eventually the flag goes up on the near side, and it will be a free kick to England. But again, the space for Sorensen there, if they get that pass right, if they get the timing right, Denmark, they're in.
I've been so impressed, I think, with Vangsgaard as she's come on. She's making it really difficult. She's occupying both centre backs. She's putting herself in a position where they cannot see her and the ball at the same time, and that makes it so difficult to predict where the run's going to come from, where the pressure's going to come from.
Can England see this out? A victory and Haiti not losing to China later will see them through to the knockout stages, but at the moment I wouldn't say they're hanging on, but certainly Denmark are piling on the pressure. They've hit the woodwork with Vangsgaard. Can they fashion another clear chance and test Mary Earps? England have the throw over on the far side, and Lucy Bronze just doing a few keepy-uppies, and there is that game experience that we talk about, Karen Bardsley.
Yeah, she's absolutely managing the game very well, you know, taking as much time as she can.
Thank goodness it's another 4 minutes at a time from an England perspective. We've had 10, we've had 11, we've had 12, but we know it's something that FIFA said, you know, you can expect a lot of added time. Haven't been too many stoppages, to be fair, in this second half, and I think England will certainly take 4 minutes of added time. They're trying to see this out. They lead by a 0-0 here on BBC Radio 5 Live as Sveka has it, the Danish centre half now, having switched into the centre of that back line, plays it forward over the halfway line. Lauren Hemp gets ahead on it. Did she get a little push on the back there? Referee says no. Lauren James picks it up. Is challenged, goes out for a Denmark throw. And the referee is telling Denmark to take it from where it went out as their manager, Lars Søndergaard, in his grey jacket, gestures with his left hand, trying to organise his side tactically. They're pushing for an equaliser, Denmark. Can the Lionesses hold on? Lauren James is in the centre of the park as Lauren Hemp goes in there, as Alex Greenwood should and does clear away for England. Hemp potentially could have given away a free kick there, but our referee Tess Olofsson says no, but Denmark have it back on the halfway line, and here goes Katrina Veier, goes for goal once again from distance, and Mary Earps watches it all the way. Huge cheers around the Sydney Football Stadium. Well, she almost caught Earps out with a cross-come shot, didn't she, from the left-hand side, Veier, but that was from such distance, and Earps dealt with the first one well, and that one she just watched all the way. It's a bit of a waste, really, from Denmark there.
Yeah, it certainly is, Vicky. You're absolutely right, but, you know, from that distance, you're not going to beat someone like Mary Earps. She handles that so easily, moves her feet across the goal and just plucks it out of the air.
Long ball over the top for Lauren Hemp to chase. We've played almost 2 minutes of the minimum 4 added on. It's good defending at the back by Denmark, and Thompson playing it off Lauren Hemp, and it will be a goal kick to Denmark. They're running out of time to find this equaliser. England have 2 minutes to see this out.
Managing these next 2 minutes is going to be crucial. I think we're going to see a more compact, slightly more direct approach from England here.
So Lena Christensen up towards halfway, the Danish goalkeeper, cleared away by Alex Greenwood. Lauren James potentially committing the foul on Vangsgaard there on the halfway line. Referee allows play to continue. Laura Coombs, her major tournament debut, age 32, hoofs the ball over halfway, and Katrina Veier plays the ball straight out of play, and that's good work by Chloe Kelly to win the throw for England. They're nearly there. 90 seconds of added time to play. England 1, Denmark 0.
I'll tell you what, if I was England, I would keep putting the ball down that right-hand side, because Veier the Danish defender looks absolutely knackered. She's given away loads of passes and possession at this moment in time, and England just need to keep control of the game, control of the ball.
Lucy Bronze initially did well to shield that, but she's played the ball out of play, and Denmark have a throw midway inside their own half. 1 minute of added time to play as Bethany England gets involved and wins a free kick there. And again, Serena Wiegman walking back to her technical area. She will be delighted with what Bethany England has done there.
Really clever from Bethany England just to slow the play down. Again, trying to find the players that are struggling a little bit. It's Veier again, being a bit sloppy in defending. and giving really England a chance to wind down the clock a bit.
So they have the free kick over on the far side, England. Bronze is there, Kelly as well. We've got 3 players around the penalty area, but 5 are staying back just inside the Denmark half as Lucy Bronze just stands there. She wants Katarina Kuhl to come and close her down and then just plays it out to the right-hand side. 15 seconds of added time to play. England are nearly there. James might be offside here. Flag stays down. James has it down by the corner flag. They just need to see this out. It was her goal, her stunner, that got England underway inside 6 minutes, and it looks as though it is her goal, her stunner, that is going to be the difference in this match. She's won a throw deep in Danish territory. We've played the 4 minutes. The referee blows the full-time whistle, and England do win their second group match at this Women's World Cup. Lauren James with an absolute beauty inside the opening 6 minutes. Denmark pressured them in the latter stages of the game. They hit the woodwork as well through Vansgaard, but in the end, England held firm. It's 2 wins out of 2 for the European champions, for the Lionesses in Australia.
That's huge for England. They can take a lot of confidence going into this next group stage game. Not exactly a comprehensive, performance over 90 minutes, but enough to get through.
Enough. Job done again, and job done much better than they did against Haiti in terms of performance. Improvements all around the pitch from England. They still have more gears to go, we know that, but they will be very satisfied with this. The only blot, the injury to Kira Walsh in the first half, stretched it off with the knee injury, and we very much hope that that is not as serious as it looked at the time. We'll bring you updates on that as soon as we get it, but for now, it's 2 wins out of 2. It's a 100% record so far for England at this World Cup, and they're yet to concede a goal as well. It finishes at the Sydney Football Stadium. England 1, Denmark 0.
Vicky, a little blast of sweet Caroline as one of the 40,000 fans inside this Sydney Football Stadium. You can tell the majority of them were supporting the Lionesses as well. And Gilly Flaherty in London, part of our commentary team here as well. England didn't really kill the game off. They got that job done, but Denmark were pushing so late on.
Yeah, I think Denmark done really well to stay in the game. I think England controlled most of the game, but like I say this on every game that I'll commentate, it's all about momentum, and when you've got the momentum, you punish teams when you have it, which is what England done in the first half when we had the momentum. But I just think, for me, England just worry me a little bit in regards to possession playing out from the back. You're looking at the chances that Denmark had, majority of them come from England's mistakes. But yeah, obviously Vansgaard very unlucky with that header, and England on the other hand very lucky that it hit the post.
And Gilly, it's the fact that Alessia Russo, just on that performance we saw against Haiti as well, she was quiet again, and Serena Wiegman's calling for that ruthlessness in front of goal. We didn't see that again.
No, I think she is having a quiet tournament. I don't think she's had probably one of her better seasons anyway. Obviously she's scored a lot, but she's been quiet in a lot of games, and I think you're looking before she come into this tournament, obviously there was the talk of her move, and obviously it's been announced that she's going to Arsenal, but I think maybe look after a little bit. There is a lot of pressure riding on her shoulders. She is only young. There's been a lot of talk about who's going to be the number 9. Is it her or Rachel Daly? Maybe put her on the bench for the next game. Obviously in the Euros she had such a big impact coming off the bench. Maybe take the pressure off her a little bit, put her on the bench, give Beth England come on, had a great 15 minutes or so. Maybe rotate that and just look after her.
I think, in terms of Alessia Russo and her output, I think you need to think about how the build-up has changed as well. So that's obviously going to affect the services that she's receiving. And I think you also have to give credit, the work that she's doing off the ball. She's creating opportunities. There's no question about it. Yes, okay, they've not been maybe the most dangerous in front of goal in terms of, the high percentage opportunities. But you also have to think as well, she's not getting the same sort of service that she's used to getting from Ella Toon. The creativity hasn't quite been there in the same sense, but she's still contributing, I think. So I think we need to slow our roll a little bit and just give her a bit more credit.
And Vicky, did we see on that performance, especially first half, before that Kira Walsh injury in the 38th minute, that England did have their identity back?
Yeah, I think that they certainly played a lot better than they did against Haiti. I think all round. I think where the momentum was lost was in the second half. But I think it will be interesting to hear from Serena Wiegmann and the players afterwards in terms of the impact that Keira Walsh injury had. I mean, they will have gone in at half time. They will have a better idea. Of course, you know, she'll only have been assessed within the hour or so. They'll need to do a more in-depth assessment before they can tell us exactly what the injury is and how long it will keep her out. But they will have a pretty good idea, that the players and Walsh, of, you know, how serious that might be and how that does change your mindset in the second half, you know, and actually you're then thinking about, okay, well, this is Laura Coombs, she's huge experience, had a great season with Manchester City, but the first major tournament debut, you know, how do we kind of build that in the midfield, and just changes things narrative-wise for England.
Vicky, Karen, Gilly, we're going to have so much more reaction to this game in the next half hour. Lauren James, I can see, she is the player of the match. She's doing her broadcast interviews right now on the pitch in front of us, but it is approaching 8:30 here in Sydney, 11:30 in the UK. We can get the latest news from Karisha Patel.